never lose ever. So obviously he's handling his lack of playing time okay. I'd be PO'd if I was him, but he seems to be handling it all right. So he also retweeted a map of the United States on which NBA teams states are rooting for, and surrounded by Phoenix Suns, the Arkansas surrounded by Suns fans apparently all over the Southwest, is the green of the Bucks, and he was excited. He said, "The love is unreal. Thank you, Arkansas." I knew 100% about Bobby Portis. I'm rooting for the Bucks. I've been making fun of him for the last couple of years, but now that Bobby's there, I'm rooting for him. So, anyway, we'll talk a little about that. U.S. Open yesterday. We have I don't know. The leaderboard is a little bit weird, I guess, but we've got a relatively familiar name on top, right? I mean, I think most people who follow golf know who that is.
Well, when you just look at the first round, yeah, I thought it was the from even par up that's in contention. You have a lot of good names.
Russell Henley, is that right? Is that our leader? He's 4 under, I think, after the first round. That's something crazy.
I'm pulling it up too.
Yeah, I should have had that.
They started already, right?
I would assume unless there was a fog delay again. Henley is 4 under. He starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Shot a 67. Oosthuizen's at 4 under also. Yeah, they both
finished late last night. Or, towards the end.
My paisano Francesco Molinari is at 3. Rafa Cabrera Bello from Spain is at 3. Richard Bland. It's a very exciting name. He's at 2 under. He's from Britain. Brooks Koepka's at 2 under. And Xander Schauffele's at 2 under. John Rahm's at 2 under. Good opening round for him. And Rikuya Hoshino is at 2 under from Japan.
Nope, don't know him.
Huge fan.
Nope.
Huge fan. Oh, yeah. And by the way, Francesco's little brother, maybe his older brother, I don't know, Eduardo Molinari is at 1 under. So both the Molinari boys are in the mix.
There are 2 sets of brothers.
Yes.
In the Open.
That's right.
The Ortiz Brothers, of course, one of them played at the University of Arkansas, Alvaro, and Carlos, he made the coverage yesterday, made a long, winding birdie putt down the hill that fell in the cup.
Matthew Wolff got up to a hot start yesterday. He ended at 1 under, and Rory McIlroy's at 1 under, so he did not shoot himself out of contention just yet either, so he's right there in the mix. So we've got some sound, I know, from yesterday. Let's hear from Russell Henley, and then Phil Mickelson did not have a very happy day. He was a little bit upset. Let's start with our leader, though, first, because to the victors go the sound bites.
I feel like the last year I've been playing golf that I feel like I'm a top 50 player in the world. I've had a ton of top 10s. I've been in contention. I've been really consistent. The last couple tournaments I've played.
As if golf wasn't hard enough, yesterday Phil Mickelson was frustrated by fans who apparently did not silence their phones while they were clicking pictures of him playing golf. One of the reasons that the Masters is such a special environment, you can't take it out there. At least you're not supposed to. If you do, I would imagine they're smart enough to put it on silent mode. But he was frustrated after his round. What did he end up shooting yesterday? Did you see his final score, Wes?
Was it 4 over 75?
That's what it says. Okay, let's hear from Mr. Mickelson.
Yeah, Phil, on your second shot on 13, I think you had to step away from the ball about 3 times. There were cell phones chirping all around you. And given where you ended up on the next shot, how much of a factor was that in the round?
Yeah, it's part of professional golf. You have to learn to deal with it. I don't understand why you just can't turn that little button on the side. But I probably didn't deal with it internally as well as I could have, or as well as I need to. I mean, it's part of playing the game out here at this level, and certainly I didn't do the best job of dealing with it.
Just turn that little button on the side.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. You have to be a pretty big, I don't know how significant a moron you have to be to have your phone not on silent when you're clicking pictures at a PGA event, but a pretty big one. I have it on silent when I'm clicking pictures at an NBA game, let alone at a golf tournament. I mean, I don't understand what the thinking is.
Why wouldn't you have it on silent anyway in case you get a phone call?
Exactly.
Or a text message.
How embarrassing, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like when you go to church, you turn your phone off, right?
Yes.
When you go to the golf course, you should do the same thing.
More people need to be hit in the head with a ball peen hammer. There are a lot of really stupid people out there, Wes. Wes, and unfortunately, you just can't do that. It's not legal, but it really needs to happen. I think it would really help society.
They are on the course, and Richard Bland, your guy, has 2 birdies in the first 3 holes, and he is 3 under par.
How about that?
Yep, and John Rahm is even for the day. Sergio has a birdie, and he's moved to 1 under par. Rory is even.
Look at the Spaniards.
day.
Got 3 Spaniards up there in the top 10.
Sergio, Rahm.
And Bello, Cabrera Bello. How about that? Good for them. See you, Will. Let's talk to our friends here from Peak Fighting. They're putting on an MMA show this weekend here at the Hall of Industry at the Arkansas State Fairgrounds. And if you hear any real loud noises in the background, they are putting the ring together as we speak. And a lot of times, we were talking about this a moment ago. Let's introduce Brian Poe and Johnny Ross, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Johnny's trying to get revved up this morning. Did you finish that? You working on your Red Bull? Okay, all right. Anyway, so Johnny's the matchmaker and Brian's the promoter, but you guys have you don't do an octagon we were talking about. It is a cage, but it's round.
It is a MMA cage.
Okay, and I asked him
round.
why, and he said, because that's the one we bought. I'm like, that is really good. That makes a ton of sense. So it works well for you, though.
Absolutely.
You guys were one of the first big shows after COVID, right?
Yes. We were able to put on a show last September.
Okay. How many people came? Where was it?
It was a disaster.
Well,
we only had like 200 and something people. We were just like, we want to fight.
Yeah, it
Let's
was to the
fight.
point.
So,
I mean, everybody was sick of being cooped up.
Yes.
But we were authorized to do it. We followed all the guidelines at that point. And, we didn't have near the people we wanted. But at that point, like Johnny said, man, we were just cooped up forever. Let's just do something,
Right.
man. Come on.
When did you guys start Peak?
to
October 18.
Okay. So you guys were probably rocking right along when COVID hit, huh?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was-
Talk about a
Kicking the groin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
we did
Pun
a bunch
intended.
of stuff. Mm-hmm. We were going to head into Texas, everything, and then bam,
And you guys are based where?
Texarkana,
Okay. But you're originally from,
Canada.
so how'd you end up there?
I met a lovely lady here.
Buddy? Happens to a lot of people. Don't feel bad. And Brian, where are you from originally?
Texarkana.
Okay,
I
so-
was born and raised
Hometown
there.
kid.
Other than I graduated from the U of A in Fayetteville.
Okay.
Where all does Peak Fighting go right now?
Hot Springs, Little Rock, Texarkana, Springdale is where we've been thus far.
What kind of response have you gotten lately? I mean, you getting pretty good attendance at the shows?
We are.
Yeah?
Yeah, for coming out of COVID. And
Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, too, you guys offer it to people who can't make it out or maybe live out of town but want to watch some
Correct.
fighting. They get it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, because a lot of the fighters, they're not just local.
Right.
Some of them are, but they come in from California, Canada. I mean, we've got an
Baku.
Egyptian.
An Egyptian. huh?
Fights,
We got
yeah.
a kid from Monterrey, Mexico fighting. We got a kid from Baku fighting on the main
I'm
card.
sorry. Baku?
Yeah, it's over there by.
Is it an Asian country?
It's,
Just pick
he
somewhere and say it.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to check you on that one. I don't think they teach that
Everybody's
in
Googling
I've never heard
Baku
of it.
right now.
No, he is from Baku.
Yeah.
Okay.
He trained with.
Baku.
Trains with.
Oh, yeah, this is the capital of Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Bajan, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Caspian Sea.
Totally forgot all about it, yeah.
He's
that's
trained
right.
with Khabib and Khabib's father before he passed.
Okay.
So we're expecting big things out of him. So, but he's fighting a tough kid out of San Antonio, Dimitri Ivy. His brother was in the UFC.
How do you make these matchups?
Man, you just try to find the fairest matchups and make them.
What's fair? What makes it fair?
Even records. We try to get even records, and then if a guy's really talented and he doesn't have many fights, we try to put him with someone that has a lot more fights, so that no one's getting killed. Do they get beat up pretty bad in there? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get them all right.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
You're not perfect.
No.
You're close.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I assure you he's not.
What's the perfect match for you?
Pardon?
What's the perfect match?
Man, just like honestly, we like to like. I don't know, man.
Here's
like
the thing.
striker versus striker for me is like that's what I like to see. I like jiu-jitsu, but I like striker versus striker.
You like opposing styles facing off? Or obviously,
Yes, we do that. Yeah, but I like. You
Here's
don't
the
want.
thing. A lot of what we might consider a good fight is a chess match. A lot of the general public,
Oh, they want to see someone.
yeah,
get killed.
everybody wants to see the car wreck in NASCAR. Everybody wants to see a train wreck. I mean, so some of the ones that end up going off the rails and just don't make it to the end to go to decision, obviously that's
what
the
they
general
want.
public
Sure.
likes that. Yeah.
Yeah. You like a chess match or you like a bloodbath? Can you get both?
Yes.
You can
Can I
get
have both, please?
We've
I love a bloody chess match.
So we, yes, we had fights. We did 2 nights of fights in Texarkana, January. Our canvas was perfectly clean. Going to the last fight, amateur title fight, and they destroyed it.
Wow.
One fight destroyed it.
Are these guys pros, or there's amateurs, or there's a blend?
We'll have amateurs and we'll have pros.
Okay.
But we have 3 pro fights tomorrow.
Okay.
Or Saturday. Yeah. And then 3 amateur title fights.
So we were talking, Brian, before. Like, there's a misconception for a lot of people. Like, this is not a tough man contest. I mean, these are people who do this for a living or are very serious about it, even as amateurs.
Correct.
Just kind of give us an idea for folks who don't understand it, like what we can expect if you're coming out tomorrow.
Most everybody knows the UFC.
Yeah.
But they have a misconception, or they just don't know exactly how those fighters come up through the ranks. There's regional promotions like ours, all over. They've got to come from somewhere. I mean, you don't just show up in the NFL. You got to go through, college, or generally speaking,
right,
high school, things like that.
Sure.
And basically, as a feeder program, to the bigger levels, such as the UFC, they've got to come through places like us.
So what would be the route for someone like fighting tomorrow night to finally get it to UFC? Where would they go from here?
We basically, the easiest way to put it is we have single A and triple A ball all in one night. So the beginning you might be looking at single A ball, and then near the end you're looking at triple A baseball. They'll actually go right. Some of them will go right from here to UFC. So we have a few guys under contract with us that are real close, like 1-2 fights away, and we'll release them and they'll go to the UFC from us.
What's UFC looking for? If they do they scout, or are they watching videos?
So they have there's several management companies that it's an easier path to the UFC. If you're talented enough, you're going to go without them. But we deal with a management company. I'm not going to mention them. That will tell us, hey, he's got 2 more fights. Let's get him. Try to find an opponent like this, blah, 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 blah. We'll do our best, but we're still, at the end of the day, we're in control. We make the matches. And they're looking for someone that's exciting. They don't want boring fighters. They're not going to take boring fighters. That's just not what they do. So
what's exciting? What's an exciting
someone
fighter?
that goes out and leaves everything in there, is going to go in there and, we got pros. Some of them hesitate to throw elbows, and we got pros that go in there and when they're on the ground, they're just raining nasty elbows on people. That's what they're looking for, people that do damage. They don't want boring fights.
Amateurs aren't allowed to throw elbows.
Yeah.
Really?
Not to the head, to the body, but not to the face.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just something Arkansas, it's different in every state, but Arkansas thinks it's not they don't need to.
When I get in a scrap with a guy, I tell him he can't hit my face at all. With anything. So that's kind of my personal policy, yeah.
It's better that way.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I don't really like a fair fight. I like a guy that will take a punch to the face, but he's not allowed to hit me. It's only fair to me. We're talking to Brian Poe and Johnny Ross. We're just tuning in again. The Peak Fighting Show tomorrow at the Fairgrounds here at the Hall of Industry. 7 o'clock, doors at 6. Tickets start at $30, which for 11 fights is a heck of a deal. You guys will have concessions here, I assume?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Adult beverages?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
I mean, really, MMA without... Oh, a full bar.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, don't stop there. I'll need a vodka soda, sir. So, yeah, I was going to say, you got to get a little rowdy in the crowd, right? You got to have a couple beers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys ever have any problems with people in the stands thinking that they are professional fighters also?
Usually not.
This is a high-intensity, amped-up kind of environment, though.
Yeah, it's lights. The thing is, we have a lot of kids that come, so it's
family friendly.
Yes,
right.
We try not to zero tolerance for idiots.
Yes, that's good.
So,
well, we were just talking. I mean, people silence your phones too. Okay, these guys are trying to beat each other up in here. They need to have some quiet.
No, you can be.
Oh, okay.
It gets loud.
Do you have any women fighting this weekend?
Not this weekend, no.
How common is that in Arkansas?
It's like last show we had 6.
Yeah, in May we had it was a 2-night show in Texarkana and 6
fights.
Six female fights.
Female fights.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
We
okay.
had the problem with them is their talent level is
get a pretty wide variance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. It's kind of like Midwest.
Yeah. Where men you can kind of, but women it can get ugly quick.
I got you. Okay.
What do you think of tomorrow's card?
I like it. It's nice. It's really nice. Like Ivy versus this Aliv kid it's crazy.
Azerbaijan.
No one would fight this Aliv guy. So LFA couldn't get him a fight. Legacy Fighting Alliance couldn't get this guy a fight. And then Another promotion, I'm not going to mention them, offered him a title fight. Kid signs a contract, and they say, well, we're worried about your weight because we've never seen you fight at 145. So they put him on like a weight watch, and then they said, well, you're too heavy, and the weight they told me is like 3 weeks out. I'm like, and they're like, no, we're not too heavy. So they pulled the fight from the kid. They didn't want their champion to lose to the kid. So they're protecting their champion. So I said, bring him here. We'll find him.
Love it. What's your weight range in the fights this weekend?
We have 125ers
125, yeah.
all the way up to heavyweight, 265.
Is there a max on heavyweight?
265. 266.
Gotcha.
Amateurs 267, but pro 266.
It's very specific. Why is that? Hey, amateurs, yeah. Hey, fatty, you can put on 1 more pound. You're good. When you're a pro, though, we got to get you shredded down to 266.
Yeah.
What, you can't be bigger than 266?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Well, wouldn't be fair. You can't have a guy 400 pounds fighting a dude 260.
Why?
Because it would be stupid. It'd be like if you and I fought.
Hey, there's your train wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that 400-pound guy could be slow and.
Oh, yeah, he would probably die.
Yeah.
But still,
But he may die on top of the other guy. And we can't have that.
Right.
And you got 2 dead dudes. I mean, that's no good.
It's ugly.
What's the coolest thing you've ever seen? Like, we've seen some crazy moves, and like our boy Bryce Mitchell, he had his crazy finishing move, and I mean, you've seen some pretty wild stuff, flying kicks. I mean, what's the best finish you guys have had?
Probably, I don't know, Rachel, or the Katie Stripe fight
Katie
was
Stripe.
pretty brutal.
Yeah.
The oddest thing might be Nixon Bradford.
Yeah, so this, I shouldn't even say this on the air, but.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I can?
For sure you should.
Yeah.
As long as you don't swear, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, okay.
The morning show did all the cussing. We're good, I think. Yeah, I think we're covered now.
So we have a big fight. The kid actually that got knocked out is fighting here tomorrow night, but he gets kneed in the
In the
cod
balls.
sack.
Yeah, in the cod sack.
Yeah.
I like that.
So he gets kneed right in front of the commission. Referee misses it.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
it happens, but not usually. Ref, great ref. Gets kneed in the balls, and he grabs his balls, and he's sitting there, and he's getting teed off on. I mean,
He's getting beat up while he's holding himself.
yeah, because Rocky missed it. So then the poor kid is like, "Oh, I better fight back." 'cause
Yeah.
obviously he doesn't care about my genitalia. so he gets smoked with an overhand right because he's kind of still worried about
Yeah, his groin.
his balls,
Sure.
and then he falls backwards, and then, bam, and then he locks up. He's out like
Yeah.
a
Arms,
light.
everything.
Oh, my
He
God.
doesn't wake up for about a minute and a half, maybe
Yeah.
longer.
See,
he's
the thing-
frozen.
That is truly adding insult to injury.
Yeah. So
And the bad thing is, because he realized, man, the ref missed it. He was on the wrong side. I better do something here real fast.
Yeah.
And recover. So to everybody, it kind of looked like, well, I think he got kneed, but he recovered real fast, so maybe
Yeah.
he's okay.
Yeah.
But in his mind, he's thinking, I'm still hurting, but I got to start doing something, or I'm really going down
Yeah.
quick.
Well, he should have done it just a second before, huh?
the replay shows like
How bad he got
bam,
it. Yeah.
knee right into the nuts.
That's not allowed.
No.
Okay.
That's frowned upon.
Okay. Well, I think we used about 7 words for that area, so it's good that we got it all covered. Let's get that out of our system right out of the gate. Okay, so that's illegal. No elbowing to the head when we're amateurs. Any other rules that are variant between the two?
Knees to the head.
You can knee to the head as a pro, but not as an am?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you like if you're shooting for a takedown as amateur and he's throwing a knee, your head is like,
In play?
yeah, I mean,
Stuff
that's your
happens.
fault.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
that's
your bad.
not. That's more like you put your head on his knee.
Yeah. Keep your head up, dummy. That's no good.
But they're not going to stop the fights because he's bleeding as an amateur. They're not going to. They don't care.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I would ask you about bad injuries, but I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to.
You don't.
No, that's not.
What has Bryce, the influence, have you seen his impact in Arkansas?
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, it's massive. Bryce, you got Bryce and TJ Brown. I think he's coming on here.
TJ
later.
Brown's going to be on with us later.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bryce is just, he's talented. I mean, it's insane. I think honestly, he could get UFC to Little Rock in the Simmons, and he could help it
Wow.
out big time. I see that coming
That would
from
be
him.
huge.
Yeah, it would be massive. It'd be great for the state. It'd be great for It'd be great for everyone.
How good is he? Could he
He's-
come in here tomorrow night and take on like
Oh.
all 6 and take on?
At the same time, man.
Well, maybe not at the same time, but like round robin, one
Dude,
after the other.
He's very talented.
Really?
He's fun to watch. He's great for the sport. He's awesome. I'm happy he's from Arkansas. It's amazing.
He's a good dude.
Yeah,
he's quite a character.
He is, and he helps the sport a lot.
Yeah.
So.
600 is the seating in here. We let's get this thing packed out. Tickets again at $30, up to 100. And the pay-per-view is $24.99. All the info for tickets and for pay-per-views at peakfighting.com. And you can get them beforehand, which would be advisable because the process will be a little smoother than buy them at the door. But you can, if you show up over here at the Hall of Industry at the Arkansas State Fairgrounds, buy them at the door as well. And I assume parking will be plentiful. Is there any any issues there?
Nah.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a break. Guys, thank you for having us out today. We'll get you on again here in a little bit. We got another guest coming up in just a second, though. We have Solomon Bozeman, the new head coach over at UAPB. He's going to join us on the other side. Arkansas native and now coaching in his home state. So look forward to visiting with Coach Solo, getting it done. Hopefully he will be in the very near future at least. 10:29. Stay with us here in the zone, live at the fairgrounds. Talk some more MMA coming up.
All right. Ho. What? Breaking news.
Yeah?
Kevin Kopps has won the 34th annual Dick Hauser Trophy for the National Player of the Year.
Yay!
He is the first relief pitcher to ever win the award.
See, guys, this is how we do the show. I do the whole show, and Wes trolls Twitter and occasionally gives us tidbits. Isn't that great? What a gig.
How about the deals at Gwatney Chevrolet right now? 0% financing for 72 months for well-qualified buyers on some of the SUVs out there. So you're getting a great deal. You're getting great trade-in value. I mean, the kind of trade-in value we've never seen before. Up to $4,000 over the book price. So if the book says your car's worth like $15,000, you could get $19,000 for it. Use that money, put it down on the new vehicle that you're getting a great deal on, 0% financing possibly, and used vehicles. There are unprecedented deals going on for the used vehicles. Great finance rates, no payments up to 90 days or even 120 days on some of the cars out there. See all the deals at GuatneyChevrolet.com. Then head to the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville and take advantage of the situation. Get you a new vehicle right now. It's Gwatney Chevrolet. Let's head to the Brandon Moving and Storage Hotline. Solomon Bozeman, the new head coach of the UAPB men's basketball team, joins us now. Coach Solo, welcome in, and congratulations, man. How excited are you right now? How did this process break down? I mean, I remember hearing, a couple weeks ago, maybe, Coach Solo to UAPB. How did that whole process go with the interview and back and forth?
I definitely have some interest in the job. I've always wanted to be a head coach. So we just kind of went back and forth there. And then once I got that call, to do a Zoom interview, I did that. The following week I was on campus interviewing. So it was a good process. I was excited about the process. I thought it was great. I thought the Zoom interview was great. I thought on campus it was great. And, I was just excited about the whole thing, kind of once you step on campus just to see the landscape and, just the passion that A.B. Robinson has.
We had Chris Robinson on the show Monday, and he told us you failed to meet one of your goals as becoming a head coach at the age of 32. I thought it was incredible that you're a head coach at age 33, but you were wanting it even faster. So what's keeping you busy right now? We've talked to Coach Ivory in the past about the non-conference schedule that UAPB has, and it's absolutely incredible how they hit the road and they're gone. And they're playing all over the country, and I know it's it's for budget reasons, and they make a lot of money for the university hitting the road. Is that something you'll continue to do and need to do?
Same plan, maybe not travel as much and get on airplanes and stuff like that, but definitely want to go to the top teams in the country. I think we could do a little bit better as far as regionally. You can go play some of those top teams, Ole Miss, Baylor, Missouri. You can get up to those places for our district. So that's something that I would do. I'm excited about the schedule. I'm excited about playing.
UAPB head coach Solomon Bozeman with us on the Brandon Moving and Storage Hotline. Do you know what your roster is going to look like? I know you're always recruiting, but are you trying to still get guys on campus now for fall?
Guys that got coming back, we got the kids coming back.
Coach, two schools that you were with recently, Abilene and Oral Roberts, took down Goliath in the tournament last year. As you're going to take over UAPB, what do you think is necessary for the Lions to be able to take down some of those giants in the college basketball world?
I just think, some of the things that I've learned after this season as far as being, defensive minded and being tough and being gritty and being one of the hardest playing teams in the country. We definitely need to, take on that role as far as being a tough team and fly around. If we can do that, which we will do, we'll have a chance every night, I feel like.
Coach, what are you selling when you're selling to a? And I know you're just getting it started here, but what's obviously you felt like you had a vision you could sell to potential recruits. How do you sell UAPB to a potential player?
Just first of all, when I sell, man, I kind of just sell myself first. How I can help you become the best basketball player to be, not only basketball player, but the best person that you can be. So I always sell myself first, and then I get into selling the school. Just kind of talking about the history of UAPB and, how HBCUs are becoming more and more intriguing, every day. So that's pretty much what I sell. And then, there's a family atmosphere. Ever since I stepped on campus in UAPB, I feel like it's in a family atmosphere. I've got along with people I've been meeting people every day. So it's just a great feeling, when you're a part of something with good people. So that's kind of what I feel to the team.
Coach, I know you know this because I've seen you recruiting Arkansas, but I think Arkansas is just kind of a little untapped, and I know the Razorbacks can't get everybody. What does Arkansas high school basketball, what will it mean for you?
Arkansas is top two basketball in the world to me. Because, like you just said, man, that Arkansas kids, they're underrated. We just don't get looked at like they're coming out of the state of Arkansas. It's just not that much publicity. So it's on me and it's on my staff to make sure we find those under the radar kids. And then hopefully, man, we can sneak a couple of those bigger name kids as well. I'm not going to be afraid, to go after, some of the best players in the state of Arkansas. So, like I said, Arkansas can get them all. There's definitely enough teams in the state that can come play with UAPB. So we just got to be mindful and make sure you get the right guys that fit out and the right guys that fit out with the guys who know how to compete.
Talking to UAPB head coach Solomon Bozeman on the Brandon Moving and Storage Hotline. I just got a text from Joe Klein who says, "Tell Solo I will be a great manager." I also visited with Coach Shields this morning, and I know he's excited for you. I think maybe bus driver would be a good role for him. Have you rounded out your staff, or you got some openings still?
So I feel really, really good about the staff. And tell Coach Klein and Coach Williams, man, they can come through those guys 100%.
Well, that's a.
I don't need Big Joe Klein driving the bus.
Well, you trust those guys 100%. That's your first mistake as a head coach, I'm afraid. So, I read a great story this morning in the Pine Bluff commercial about an experience as a youngster that your dad knew at that point you were going to be a fighter and a competitor early on. And I know you're familiar with the story that was probably told in the paper today that your dad told the reporter. But can you recount that for us? And do you have any recollection of this story as a 4-year-old?
that day. I'm going to win this race. Like, I'm going to look for this race. So he big. They told me they were going to let me. And we ended up getting out there, and I ended up winning that race. So that's a story I never forget, man. But I'm definitely a competitive. Our guys are going to be competitive. Coaches guys are going to be competitive. So that's just who I am as a person.
This is a tricycle race, by the way. When Solomon was 4 years old, his dad got him over there, even though he was deathly sick. He wins the race. He pukes. He goes back to bed. I mean, that's a bad man. That's impressive. I got to give you credit.
Coach, one of the funnest times for me since I've been here was when UAPB made the NCAA tournament. And, same when Little Rock and you guys went. It's just awesome. I mean, no offense. When Arkansas goes, it's great. And this run for Arkansas was awesome. But, man, when they finally get to go, there's just something different about it. It's special. Is that the goal every year? Is that what you want, NCAA tournament or bust?
Yeah, for me, man, that is the goal. You don't play the game not to get to the NCAA tournament. I mean, that's a special feeling. And so I want my coaching staff, I want our players to experience that every year. And it's going to be hard, but, I think we definitely have the pieces that can come in and get it done. But like I said, it's very, very hard to do, so things like UAPB or UCA or Little Rock, those things, that's a special feeling because it's a one big league. It's not like the SEC or where you can get 6 or 7 teams in. So, I mean, it's going to be hard because everybody wants to go. We got 14 teams in our league, so everybody's going to be fighting hard. But we definitely want to go to the NCAA tournament every year.
Well, we're going to let you get started on that trek. I'm sure you got a lot of work to do between now and the start of the season. But, Coach, we really appreciate the time. We are so excited for you. It was great catching up with you when you were at Oral Roberts. You guys were on that great run. And anyway, we're excited for your future, and we will definitely be doing this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Look forward to going to run next week with UAPB.
I love it. All right, Coach, thank you. Take care.
All right, have a good day.
All right, you too. That's Solomon Bozeman, head coach at UAPB. That is a good dude right there.
Yeah.
He's easy to pull for.
The good thing is they hired a great coach, and he's going to do some special things for them there. Bad thing is he's going to be a really good coach.
If he were a stock, I would buy.
Yeah.
Buy.
Over, under, he's there 5 years.
Oh, under.
Yeah.
But he makes the program better, so it
No
makes
doubt.
the job more attractive.
No
and
doubt.
so the next person they hire. Yeah.
It's the Arkansas State conundrum. Yes.
Yes.
You want to hire good guys.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It's a good move.
Just came to me.
Very.
Yeah, it's very good. Pigskin. Quick break, 10:47. We're back here at the fairgrounds. Again, it is Peak Fighting's MMA event. It is tomorrow night. You can hear in the background them putting the ring together. Doors at 6, fights at 7, 11 fights in all, $30 to $100 on tickets and a pay-per-view if you want to watch from home, $24.99. Peakfighting.com if you want more information on tickets or pay-per-view information. We'll be back in a moment. All right, welcome back. We are at the Arkansas State Fairgrounds, a fun place to play. Speaking of, how about Oaklawn? And, of course, they are making it better all the time. The hotel at Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort is now open for business. And within the walls of that hotel, the Astral Spa. It opened recently, and you can get your signature treatment booked and experience a new level of relaxation at oaklawn.com or call 501-363-4670. The action never stops inside the casino. It's 24 hours worth of fun, slots, table games, high limits, and sports betting year-round. And if you're hungry, lots of options there as well. You've got the Bugler, you got Big Al's Diner, Silk's Bar and Grill, even the Track Kitchen for breakfast and lunch. It's a casual dining experience, but tons of fun. Got live racing returning in December. Got the official dates now. We'll go through those again. We touched on them yesterday. And you got simulcast racing happening right now at Oaklawn. It's Arkansas's favorite place to play. December 3rd will be your opening day of live racing. So it's 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, so on and so forth. So 3-day weekends out of the gate, and they will go all the way through May 8th.
How about the 31st at Oaklawn?
The 31st of December?
Yeah.
That would be super fun. They're off New Year's Day for some reason, but then they're racing again on the 2nd. Oh, no, it is on New Year's Day, too. Okay. So, yeah, that would be New Year's Day, Eve, weekend at Oaklawn.
Stay at the casino?
Stay at the hotel. Go to the casino. I'm sure they'll have some music or something there going on that night.
Yeah. Fireworks, surely?
Maybe. Scare the horses. I don't know. But good time.
Then I would miss my team in the Belk Bowl. How could I do that?
Well, we can bet on it.
If Michigan gets lucky enough to make the Belk Bowl this year.
That's what the sports book is for. We'll watch it there.
Good point.
Yeah, it's a good little weekend trip.
I couldn't agree more. If you want to get in, 661-1037. That is our phone number. It is also our First Arkansas Bank and Trust text line number if you're interested in coming on with us. We also have Asher Recker live fan feedback. Art has sent in, I am now cheering for Dick Bland. What a tough name. The Englishman in the mix at the U.S. Open.
Richard Bland is now 1 under for the day, 2 under for the tournament. He is 2 shots back.
He started the tournament with a bang yesterday. He holed out a bunker shot on the first hole.
Bland.
It was not bland.
So Kevin Kopps wins the Dick Hauser Trophy Award. He has also won the National Stopper of the award today, so that goes to the best relief pitcher.
If I could say
obviously.
something about Mr. Kopps, besides just being a remarkable collegian, I don't buy this nonsense. His game is not going to translate well to the major leagues. I say...
Who said that?
I've heard some people say that. He's not going to be a high draft pick. He's old, blah, blah, blah.
That's true.
He gets dudes out, and he will get dudes out at the next level, and I hope my pitiful Detroit Tigers take a flyer on the kid, and I would love to see him in the bullpen for
Most
them.
people won't pay him the money he deserves strictly because of the age thing, and they don't have to, and all of the ball clubs don't have to, so none of the ball clubs will. But he will still be a guy that can contribute, and I think, he could start out in, high A, maybe double A.
Yes,
we were talking in the press box, and one of the guys had talked with the scout. He said, here's what's going to happen. He'll be taken with one of those top 10 draft picks, top 10 rounds, because you have a draft pool. You have a certain amount of money you can use. They'll use him and then take his money and give it to somebody else because he has no choice. They'll say, hey, here's $20,000. We want you, and they're going to put him in double A. And they're going to put him on a fast track because of his age.
Yeah.
You don't have time to send him to
want him in
rookie
the league in a
ball
couple
to
of years.
A ball.
That's
Yes.
right.
You're going to find out. You're going to take a shot. Can this guy get, professional hitters out? And if he can, at the age that he's at, they're going to put him on the fast track to the big leagues.
I'd take him for 5 years. He's going to help you win. He can pitch.
There's no risk if you're only going to give him $20,000 as a signing bonus.
It's a win-win. Yes. Absolutely.
Man, I don't know about all that. We got to do champs and chumps here coming up in a little bit.
I did post an alternate question of the day.
Yeah, not a good one.
Are you over the Diamond Hogs loss?
Well, I was like, I gave Wes a hard time. Like, there's first of all, there's room for 4 answers, and you gave him 3 answers, and you didn't even have one that a lot of people probably say.
I don't know. No one has texted me, tweeted me, and said, hey, where's yes? You're the only one that said yes, you're over it.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Okay, I have another question.
Not many, actually.
It was a week ago that I went with Per Acree up to the game.
That's right.
Okay. Has it been a week, a month, 6 months in terms of the time elapsed in your mind? This has been
Seems a lot longer
This
than
has
it
been the
does.
longest week I've ever seen in my life.
Why is that?
It seemed like 2 months ago we went to
does.
that game.
I feel the same way.
When you lose, that's what happens. If you won, it would have been like 36 hours and we're in Omaha.
Yeah.
And we're getting excited. Losing stinks. That's what you take away from this.
The question is, are you almost over it, still a ways to go, or no, you're not over it?
Not over it.
I was like, Wes, what about yes? I mean, I don't think it'd be a high percentage, but there are a few people I got to think that are over it.
That's how it shows you where my thinking is. I don't think anybody's over it, and I didn't even think about that as an option.
I'm pretty much over it at this point.
I'm not over it.
No,
it was
not.
It was a great season. There's a lot to celebrate. It was a significant year, but whatever.
I am when I see the tweets coming out of Omaha, when I see the commercials on ESPN for the College World Series, it just makes me sick.
Listen,
I really don't plan on watching any games this week.
I have a perfect analogy what this is. My favorite team probably in sports history were the 1976-77 Michigan basketball team. They started the season number 1. They finished the season number 1. They went in as odds-on favorites to win the NCAA tournament. They get beat in the Elite Eight by Melvin Watkins and some punk named Cornbread Maxwell. I'm not over it yet. And it's been this long. And they had a great season, just like the Hogs did. But people are going to look back and say they were tremendous that year, but we didn't finish it. And it happens sometimes. So,
Well, 40% say they're almost over it. 21% say they still got a ways to go, and 38% just said plain flat out no.
Well, you need to keep yourself busy. It's the best way to get over it. So you can come and watch people punch each other in the face and put arm bars on each other and kick each other with some MMA fighting this weekend here at the fairgrounds. We'll tell you more about the details. We're actually going to talk in the next hour with TJ Brown, who's a professional MMA fighter. And I think his last fight was on ESPN, if I read his bio correctly. But we'll visit with him about his profession. He's a Pine Bluff native. Bad man. So we'll talk to him coming up. We've got some other guests coming back on a little bit later also, and we will talk to Tom Murphy on the other side of the break. And then we also have Philip Martin coming on. There is a very interesting film that I didn't know anything about until this morning.
he had that article on Jim Dent was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The guy that wrote the story for the movie.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear it.
The movie is called 12 Little Orphans, I think it's called.
But Texas football, Wes, you'll love it. Texas.
It's like a two-hour movie.
It's like a whole other country down there.
Based on a true story, I think.
Never heard anything about it.
Well, you're going to hear all about it at
Back in the
11:45.
Depression. It was before your time, Gen Zer.
And we've got tickets to Jamie Johnson and Whiskey Myers Sunday night for Father's Day. Stay tuned.
Now, here's Justin Eckrey and Wes Moore on the Buzz Radio Network. The Red White.
Kevin Kopps has awards raining down on his head on this Friday. Wes, that is our Red White report for the day. He is getting all kinds of love nationally, and appropriately so.
He wins the 34th annual Dick Hauser Trophy Award. That goes to the National Player of the Year. He is the first relief pitcher to ever win the award.
Wow.
He also won the College Baseball Stopper of the Year award. That one seemed pretty
obvious, yeah.
But he's 2 for 2, and he won one yesterday. Perfect Game also has named him their Pitcher of the Year. So it's just the beginning for Kevin Kopps. He is racking up the awards.
No doubt.
And by the way, Tony Vitello, former Razorback assistant coach, was named the National Coach of the Year.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Tony. I guess I'll just leave that. Trying to reach Tom Murphy, so we will get him on in mere moments. Then we're going to talk to T.J. Brown, who's a UFC fighter from Arkansas, who's hanging out with us over here today at the MMA promotional, time we're going to spend today because the actual fights start tomorrow at 7. We're telling you all about the Peak Fighting event, and we'll tell you more about some of the matchups that you can catch tomorrow evening. Doors at 6. Hall of Industry here on the Arkansas State Fairgrounds. And tickets start at just $30. There's also a pay-per-view if you'd like to watch from home, $24.99. All the information's at peakfighting.com for tickets and for pay-per-view. So let's talk to Tom for a couple minutes, though. And Tom, congrats to Kevin Kopps. As you've seen, he's got a couple more awards added to his collection today. And one of the questions of the day is, where are you in the process of healing from the Arkansas loss last weekend to NC State?
I heard from him last night, and one of the sound bites was that, they still haven't gotten over it. They felt like they were going to be the team that won it for Dave Van Horn. I think he said it like 3 times, that, that they wanted to win it for him. And, after everything he's gone through, he just thought this was going to be the team that did it. Tom, was it to me, we've broken this down every which way you can this week, but is it as simple as just the bats didn't come through this past weekend?
Yeah, I think so. I have also done it. Going backwards, everything do they use stops in the right way and all that kind of stuff. And if he had pitched 8 innings and they scored 5 runs or 6 runs, then we'd be talking about what he did, and then maybe whoever closed the game out. Say it's I think Nebraska showed a pitching plan against Arkansas and just didn't quite pull it off. And that was just down to the high fastball and Arkansas not, just being too eager to hit them and not laying off. And it was only, few mistakes. The one Caden Wallace hit out for the home run and started off doing his magic. But a lot of the rest of the lineup in the last 2 games, they couldn't string things together, and it was 2 freshman pitchers, 2 freshman right-handed pitchers who threw off-speed stuff, change-ups, that got him facing, down and away for right-handers, and then up in the zone. That they just couldn't sustain any type of innings against those guys. And I guess that's the frustrating part. is they seem like they were running out of steam from an offensive perspective late in the year.
So how does this season get remembered, Tom? I mean, to me, it's still, despite all the success, I mean, it's still a season of, I think, a little bit overachieving. I mean, there were obviously a lot of good pieces on this roster, but I don't know that it's the best roster he's ever had. How do you think this team is remembered?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, because they ended up hitting 267, I think, and they've had teams that have challenged 300. I think they've been over 100, 300 before. I just think it's just a deep roster. They're going to be held up. When we look back here, I thought one of these teams that didn't lose a weekend two. Arkansas and Vanderbilt, only teams to come. We're going to look back on all the rallies from down 3 runs. I thought 65 games and 3-2 games, well, they're going to find a way, just like they always have, to rally and win a game. So, it's Dave Van Horn's first 50-win season at Arkansas. But I do think it's going to be that you thought in the back of your mind. They accomplished all these great things, but they didn't get to Omaha. And that's unfortunate because it was such a successful season.
Tom, we got a lot going on here today, so we're going to cut a little bit short, and we will check in with you next week. I appreciate the time, and hopefully we're all in a better headspace next week with another few days. Yeah, happy Father's Day, Tom. Thank you. All right. Tom didn't like that. Hung up on me. How about that? Speaking of dads, we've got TJ Brown, unless – this is your kid over here?
Yes, sir.
UFC fighter, Pine Bluff native. Did I read that?
Yeah, just a little bit south of that, more near Star City.
Okay.
I know you guys know Star City.
Yeah.
So right in between Star City and Pine Bluff, Griffith Springs is actually the area I came up in.
Where'd you go to high school?
Star City and Woodlawn as well.
Oh, no doubt. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Awesome.
Baseball? Did you play baseball?
I was just going to say the same thing.
Baseball and football. Coach Richardson down there at Woodlawn, man, he's put together a great program.
So how did you go from more traditional sports into combat?
So actually, I played a bit of football. I played defensive back. I went to UAM there for a semester, went to play ball. Kind of made some mistakes. Some things went downhill, and I found out I had this guy on the way, my son on the way. And I was like, man, I got to get myself together. I found Westside MMA, took my first MMA fight, won in 10 seconds. I was like, man, this is a good gig. Let's keep going.
So what'd you do in 10 seconds?
I knocked the guy out.
That's the best way to do it. That's smart. You should do that every time.
I wish it worked that way.
So much easier.
So much easier.
Yeah. Well, those guys have either helped launch or helped sort of cultivate a lot of careers over the years. And I know Bryce has worked with those guys too, Bryce Mitchell. Mm-hmm. I guess, are you the only two guys that have UFC connections in the state?
Yeah, it'd be me and Bryce is about it. Luis Pena, which was Little Rock Central native, which he trains down in Florida now. He also is in the UFC as well.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what was the transition, I guess, from beginning days, some of the shows that you did into where you are now, where you're on the UFC? And I know you kind of earned your way through in a special UFC event, right?
Right. Man, that's a great question. Starting in local fights here, just like Peak Fighting is putting on a promotion tomorrow. If it wasn't for the local promotions like them, I'd never have the ability to have the opportunity to be in the UFC where I am today. But yeah, just grinded through the ranks there. Through a long period of time, lots of ups and downs, but just stayed relentless. And luckily, I signed with my manager. He got me the Dana White Contender Series fight, man. Went on there and had a tough battle with a guy from Massachusetts, beat him, and I got awarded the contract, and here I am now.
That's awesome. So how often are you fighting, or do you want to fight?
Man, after that last one I won, but, man, I took a bit of damage, and I tried to take some time off, spend some time with my son, but it looks like I'll be back in there in September. So about every 3 months is a good time frame.
How did your family do during an event for you? Is that hard for them?
Oh, man, that's a tough question. So just this last camp was really tough, but because I had to leave for my training camp and I was away from my son. But I don't know if they enjoyed that more or me being there and being gripey, being on my diet. So it's a tough case, but you know what? Afterwards, when I get a full belly and I win a good bit of money, we can enjoy it, go on vacation, things like that. But it's just a part of it. We all have to pay some sort of tax, and
sure.
For me, that's worth it.
When you wake up on a fight day, sorry, Wes, when you wake up on a fight day, I mean, like this weekend, right, over here for Peak.
Yeah.
These guys are going to get in the ring until at the earliest 7 o'clock. That's for the first fight. It could be 8, 9 o'clock before they even get in there. How do you manage that? I cannot imagine the amount of anxiety you've got through a day on a fight day.
Man, you really hit it on the nail, and to be honest, that's the hardest part for me is the leading up to it on fight day. You know, I believe anyone could in a bar fight somewhere, you get a little alcohol in you, that you can throw hands. You know, but to know you're going to get locked in that cage with somebody and prepare for it, go to sleep knowing you're going to go to battle that next day is a tough one. You know, and another reason why I actually have a sports psychologist I've been working with here lately. You know, it's really helped me with that process, but it's really tough, man. And there's a reason there's such a small percentage of men doing this in the world, but man, we've got one from Arkansas that's pretty good.
Is this your full-time job? Do you do anything
Yes, sir.
else?
I actually coach at Westside MMA, where I coach kids and adults. So we have classes. We have boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling for adults and kids. You know, and I enjoy that. You know, I get a bit of fulfillment through that. You know, being a fatherless child, coaches has helped me tremendously growing up. You know, so it's really a great way for me to give back to the kids and some adults and teaching. So I coach and fight professionally.
How did you get sort of trained in, and what was your initial entry into combat? Were you doing martial arts? Oh,
yes,
boxing.
sir.
Okay.
I liked boxing, man. And here in Arkansas, we actually, if you don't know, we have a great boxing scene.
We talked Golden Gloves yesterday, actually.
Yeah, I was just fixing to say we got Golden Gloves here, man. Arkansas is known for their great boxing, and that's really where I got started.
Okay. And then when did you move into martial arts?
I guess I was about a couple of years. You know, I started boxing, then I went to MMA. The guys at Westside MMA, Matt Hamilton and Roley, they really converted me over, and it all worked out. But you know, I really liked striking initially. You know, but I really gained a love for jiu-jitsu and wrestling, the grappling arts and submissions and stuff, and you know, and it's good to have. You know, and if you want to learn self-defense, that's the best way. You know, you look at most fights, they end up in some sort of entanglement, so they get into some grappling exchange. So it's good to know every aspect of the art.
I would think as you've gone further in your career, there's more tape available on some of your opponents. How much do you scout and try to look for flaws in your opponent?
You know, that has become a big part of my game. You know, early in my career, I didn't pay much attention to it. Really, my philosophy was I'm going to go out there and give them the best. I'm going to make them deal with the best T.J. Brown and make them deal with me. But, man, as I got into the UFC, we're fighting some of the best guys in the world. Film is more and more important. But that's just like any sport, right? We want to do our film study, and that's what we do. And it's very important, and I'm glad there's footage out there nowadays to get to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you and Bryce can get a UFC here in Arkansas?
Dude, 100%. If you look at Bryce, man, he's number 13 in the world right now. You know, me and him were actually fishing yesterday. We were talking. Crazy story, dude. No doubt. We were on the way to the fishing hole. And, dude, his truck's in front of me. We're riding down this gravel road, and he slams on the brakes, man. And I stop. Like, what? He runs out the car. His truck's still moving. Runs out there and grabs a deer, dude. No doubt. Grabs a deer like a baby deer. He's like, dude, look what I got. Look what I got. He pets the deer for a minute and lets it go. He's a wild man, dude. Wild man.
I thought you were going to say about the turtle. I saw the big turtle he had yesterday.
We also caught a turtle as well.
He did not rear naked chokehold that deer. Right? That one got off easy.
Yeah. He petted that one.
You knew that deer was crapping, though, right? He's like, oh, my God, I've heard about you. Run!
So crazy. But we were talking yesterday fishing. I was like, man, you know, if they paid us enough money, me and him were going to fight. I was like, heck yeah, dude. You know, we put the right money in front of us. We fight each other anyways. Let's let people watch us and make some money doing it.
What's hard about fighting him? What do you like about what he does?
He's a great grappler, and that kid's got a tough mind, man. He's hard to break. You know, us Southern boys, man, we are tough. We're very tough mentally. You know, we've got a bit of grit and relentlessness, and he's one of the toughest throughout the world I've ever had to deal with on the ground. And not only that, you can't break him, man. That kid's unbreakable, man. Like I can take a lot of people to the deep waters, and at some point they'll break, but that kid don't break him, man. That's the reason he's one of the best in the world.
So what were we fishing for yesterday?
Anything we could catch. We caught some catfish, bass, brim. Actually, my son outfished all of us, so yeah.
So did you guys bring the turtle in? Did we have turtle soup last night?
I think. I'm not sure what he did with the turtle, dude, to be honest. I'm not real sure.
I don't know that I want to know, actually.
I don't actually, me either.
So you started off playing baseball.
Yes, sir. Baseball and football.
Baseball players are notorious for being bad fighters. Every time there's a bench clearing brawl, they just like wrestle around like bears. Imagine you're a baseball player, you get into a bench clearing brawl, and you run into this guy. And he's out there throwing blows. You're like, good grief, I found the one baseball player this side of Nolan Ryan that can punch.
Well, TJ is one of those guys, and I grew up with a buddy like this. He was about, I don't know, he fought at like 139, I think. Boxing's a club sport in college. college. It's not a sanctioned sport, but he fought in the nationals. But
Nice.
we'd be playing basketball or something, and some guy would pick a fight with him, or we'd be at a bar, and I'm like, you don't want to do that. This dude, the dude's like 5'8", but I'm like, he will knock you out. I've seen him lay hands on dudes, and they're just like, what just happened? So I'm assuming you don't have a lot of guys pick fights with you, though.
No, he's what we call bully bait. Like
There you go.
Bullies will find out real soon what he's about.
Nice.
So you alluded to your upbringing. How much do you think going through some challenges as a youngster contributed to your toughness and your preparation for where you are today?
There's no doubt that there's one thing in common about all fighters. Maybe it was something tough in their past, or maybe their upbringing. But definitely what has made me the tough individual. What many people would have used as an excuse in life, or poor me, I've used it as a way to as a positive outlet to help me become the good fighter that I am today. So for sure, the upbringing I came up with, some of it was tough, but man, it made me the man I am today.
Father's Day is a couple days away. What's the plan for you and your son?
Dude, so my son's actually going to a summer camp, Camp Sabatico or something like that. Have y'all heard about that? It's a cool
in Arkansas?
Yes, sir.
Is it? Okay, I don't know. No, I don't know.
It's a couple hours away.
Okay.
But it's a week camp. He's going to be gone for a week, but I actually take him there Sunday. So we'll hang out Sunday. But, man, every day is Father's Day for me and him, man.
That's a good point.
Every day.
That's the way I should look at it. My son is also the church is doing a beach trip for the youth group.
Oh, nice.
They're leaving Sunday morning at 7:30. I'm like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You think they'd ever pull that stunt on Mother's Day?
No
Do you,
way.
TJ? I don't
No
think
way.
so either.
Wouldn't have a
Mike,
chance.
why are you taking my kid away from me on Father's Day?
You fathers, you just have to take what you get.
I mean, I'm
Pretty
complaining,
much,
but
man.
I mean, I'm going to play golf or something, fun.
Right
so,
on.
and he would go with me, but it's hard.
I would imagine in the mixed martial arts world, there's nobody wearing a Counting Crows shirt.
Yeah.
They're probably listening to Anthrax
Death metal.
and Metallica. And
this
is like a mellow man.
I love
like
Counting
that.
Crows.
I do love Counting Crows. Mr. Jones is my favorite.
Yeah.
But I will say, dude, I went and seen him live. It was not one of the best concerts I've been
Durance
to.
can't
man.
sing that well
It really
live.
was.
Watch it. Studio.
When
I
did you
was
see
so
him?
I'm
upset.
just saying.
About 2-3 years ago.
Well, I saw him live before you were born, probably,
Right
and they
on.
were really good.
Right on.
I saw him in Omaha
Dude,
one time. It was a great
Well, he's
venue.
in the AARP now. So,
Well, did you hear his interview recently? He did an interview with Rogan. You need to listen to it. It's fascinating.
Oh, wait. Rogan had him on?
Yeah, Rogan had
Really?
Durance
I gotta
on.
listen.
Yeah, it was good. Anyway,
I'd like to see that.
where'd you see him?
Man, I think it was Nashville. I don't know. It wasn't too far from here. But
Okay.
yeah, me and the girl I was with, we went and seen him. And man, we were so upset. They were playing like a new album.
Yeah, that's
And,
hard.
Man,
I want to hear the old stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
the hits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to hear about Sullivan Street and Mr. Jones and all the
There
good
you
stuff.
go.
Right on.
I'm with you. Classics. We went through their catalog the other day when we were listening to the interview, though, and they actually did have a lot of stuff after that initial album that was pretty good. But you're right. I mean, when you want to hear your favorites.
Best Jewish singer with dreadlocks in history.
Without a doubt.
No question.
I mean, is there any doubt
I don't
at all?
know that there's any others. Though.
It was really insightful, though, about how, what the role music radio still plays and kind of dealing with the record companies. And luckily, they've been good enough to go out and do their own thing and create their own. He had his own label and lost a lot of money doing it. But
back in the day, you could turn on the radio and hear stuff like that. Now you can't. So I just listen to this show all the time.
Right on.
Thank you.
Helped me.
It's free. Yeah. And the thing is, those guys are they're of a certain age and they've got a certain amount of experience where you can kind of call your own shots. You are in a position with the UFC where Dana White calls all the shots.
All the shots.
How has that relationship worked for you?
For me, where I'm at in my career, I'm just happy to be here, man. That I'm making more money than I ever have in my life. I'm actually in a place where I'm financially a bit stable now. So the UFC's treating me well. But that being said, there is a reason several of the fighters are feuding with him because at the end of the day, a lot of the fighters that have been there and have made their name aren't making the money they should be making, and Dana White is pulling in a load from them. So really, when you get down to the numbers, he is taking advantage of a lot of the fighters, and it's not a good deal. But luckily for me, starting out, I'm in a good place. But sure, eventually, if my name gets good enough, I'd probably want a little more money too.
Do you have so Bryce has camo shorts? Is there anything specific you like to wear in the ring?
Man, I'm just happy with what I got, to be honest. Dude, I came from nothing, man, so I'm just happy to be there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So when is your next fight scheduled? Do you have one on the calendar yet?
Nothing scheduled, but it looks like we're looking at September. So
how does that get made? How do these fights get made?
Well, you get a contract for so many fights, and then you have to fight so many times within that contract, and then within that time, and then I let my manager know when I want to fight, and basically there's other fighters throughout the world that are wanting to fight during that same time, and then you'll get matched up, and you accept the bout agreement, this and that, and then sometimes you have guys that take short notice fights. People will get hurt or injured or something like that, and they'll be like, hey, if you can take this fight, we'll pay you X amount of money to take it here. So.
Yeah.
it happens differently.
These two guys are workout warriors. What is a typical week working out for you? What does that look like?
Good question. So I usually get about 2 or 3 sessions in a day. I usually do a striking session where I'm doing boxing or kickboxing. Then I do a grappling session where it's like wrestling or jiu-jitsu. And then I have my strength conditioning sessions about 2 or 3 times a week. Like, have y'all heard of that Murph workout?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually, a lot of people do that on holidays.
Yeah.
I do that about once a week, so, yeah. So, but man, I enjoy fitness. I enjoy nutrition and fitness, so it's something I love to do. And I believe movement is medicine. So, man,
I like
you
that.
got to get out there and move, man.
Fighting's exhausting. It's the most tiring thing there is.
It is.
Like hitting a heavy bag or any of that.
Breathing is exhausting.
Like if
for
I
some of us.
wrestled with him,
I'm
that
so
would
glad-
be tiring.
I'm so glad you say that. You hear so many guys watching a fight out in the bar or on TV. They're like, man, just do this or just get up or just hit him or do it. Like, man, you go punch a bag for 3 minutes and tell me what you're going to do now. Like it's way tougher than it looks.
Yeah.
Much less the anxiety from somebody else trying to hit you and the people watching. So
How much is controlling? We're talking to T.J. Brown. If you're just tuning in, by the way, UFC fighter. How much is controlling your emotions? Because you can burn a lot of energy in the anxiety of fighting, I assume.
100%. That goes back to, like I was saying, that sports psychologist has really helped me a lot. I feel like a lot of my fights earlier in my career, I wasn't able to control that mental part, and I'd go out there and I'd get lucky a lot of times. I want to go out there and throw, and the first minute I end up landing a good shot, hitting the guy, taking him down. But as the competition got better, I had to learn how to control that. And now I'm at a point now I think I'm able to control those butterflies before the fight, and I'm able to do that. And it's a bit of a superpower. Adrenaline can be good and be bad, just like any sport, but once you're able to control that adrenaline and control that, you can really use it to your benefit.
Is there a guy that you'll spend money to watch?
MMA wise or boxing? For sure. Man, a lot of people are down on McGregor. I enjoy watching McGregor. He's a good one. Dustin Poirier, that McGregor-Dustin Poirier fight, man, I can't wait to watch it.
I'd rather watch McGregor in a bar, I think. I may pay money to watch him work in a bar.
He just beats that old man, I believe.
One guy. Did you see that deal? He beat the guy up. He got kicked out. He got in trouble. Then he bought the bar and banned the guy from the bar.
That's crazy.
What an a-hole. I love it.
Crazy.
That's so great.
That's so crazy, dude. It's amazing to me that he still fights, You give me that kind of money, you guys probably never see me again. Like, there's no way you can make me fight again.
No. Why would you? And he made all his money selling his whiskey.
You say, why would you? The only thing I can really justify that is with, like, man, when you get in there and fight and you win and the crowd's roaring, that's the highest of the high there is, man. So I can only feel like that's the only thing he's chasing is getting back in there and getting that recognition, getting that adrenaline from a win, because he has all the money in the world. Why is he fighting? So that's the only thing I can.
Because he's a lunatic.
What did you think of the movie Here Comes the Boom with Kevin James?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad flick, man.
I thought it was entertaining.
Was not a
he
bad
doesn't
flick.
like Kevin
Yeah.
James, so I don't.
You don't like Kevin
I'm
James?
I'm really not a huge fan of him either, to be honest. But that's not a bad flick.
See? TJ and I are on the same page. Leave us alone.
How old are you?
31.
So
Yes, sir.
where are you in your career? How much longer would you like to do
I'm
it?
what they would call long in the tooth, or getting old, man, for sure. I probably got a few more years left, and that'll be it for me. I've been doing this for a decade, man. Boxing. I've boxed professionally. I've kickboxed professionally. Now in the UFC and MMA, I've been doing this for a little over a decade. I've got a few years left, and I'll probably open me a gym up somewhere.
Be a coach,
and call
man.
it. Yeah,
Coach
man.
those kids.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I like
Give
that.
back a bit. Yes, sir.
Does your son?
I was just going to say.
Yeah, he competes. He's actually in the what's it called? Junior Deputy Championship for his league tonight at 5
Nice.
o'clock at Junior
for
Deputy.
baseball?
Yes, sir, for baseball.
What about
So-
punching people? We open to that?
Man, I don't like the younger kids taking the trauma to the head. I'm not for it. I even teach a kickboxing class, and we'll do strikes, but nothing to the head. I don't think it's good for him. But he does learn jiu-jitsu and wrestling at our gym, and I think that's good because although I don't want him to compete and take the road I did, dude, kids are mean. Like, kids need to learn a bit of self discipline and a bit of how to defend themselves,
Sure.
So I think kids are mean, and it's good that if he ever runs into some bullies, he can take care of himself.
Yeah, I mean, look, being able to put somebody in a chokehold is a very valuable asset. There's no question.
Right on.
Just on the off chance you need it. What position does he play in baseball?
He's all over the place. His main position's first, though.
Okay. Is he a lefty?
No.
Okay.
And then I heard you're supposed to be. Is that correct?
A lot of
Yeah.
times.
Well, he's played first, third, and he played a bit of second throughout this year. But he's a bit of a ball player. He's a good hitter, man. So, and got a good little attitude.
What's the team? What team is he on?
Astros.
Astros, okay.
Yes, sir.
You guys cheat like the big league Astros, or you guys play by the rules? That's good. He looks like he got an honest face. Man, great talking to you. I've heard a lot about you, and I'm glad we got to catch up with you finally. So we'll definitely keep an eye. Let us know when you're fighting again, so we can tell everybody about it. We have Bryce on every once in a while too. We need to get you guys in studio together sometime.
That'd be great, man. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Yeah.
If you'd like to follow me, you can follow me at Downtown TJ Brown on Instagram. I should have some fight news soon, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Bro, you went to school at Woodlawn. How do you get the name Downtown?
There's a professional boxer that comes to our gym, Kim Hamby. She actually gave me that nickname. She came in the gym one day. It's like, "What's up, Downtown TJ Brown?" And it kind of stuck.
I love it. That's crazy. Okay, well, that's interesting. People might think you're from a big city. You are not from a big city.
Not at all.
No. I'm from downtown Woodlawn. That's right. Exactly. Downtown Star City, where it's all jumping. Patrick Presley's on the line. We're going to talk to him, and we'll tell you more about what's happening here with the MMA event this weekend. I'll just tell you right now that they open at 7 tomorrow. Or they start at 7 tomorrow. Doors at 6. 11 fights on the card, and it starts at $30 a ticket. Pay-per-view, $24.99 if you want to watch from home. It's all at peakfighting.com, P-E-A-K, fighting.com. We will tell you about another thing going on this weekend. It's a crazy weekend. You got Travelers in town. You got tomorrow, we got Wings Over Bryant. And that's during the day. And then at night, obviously, the MMA fights here. And then on Sunday, we've got a great concert down at the River Market Amphitheater. We're going to give away some tickets to Jamie Johnson and Whiskey Myers later. They only have like a handful of tickets, literally like 5 or 6 tickets left as of this morning. We got a couple of pairs of lawn seats we will give away before the end of the show. And I think we actually have some tickets to Wings Over Bryant, too, to give away. So we'll get to all that coming up. Stay tuned in the zone. All right, welcome back in the zone. We are over at the fairgrounds in the Hall of Industry where there is a great MMA show going on this weekend. If you want some entertainment, folks, this is the place. And look, we're all looking for some air-conditioned opportunities this time of the year, so there's one for you. Also, Diamond Bear Taproom and Pub, they've got indoor and outdoor seating, so if you like to soak up the heat with a cold beverage, Diamond Bear will offer that to you. But if you want to go inside and hang out in their pub, they will help you out as well with that. And we've got a full line of food offerings over there at Diamond Bear. This is in North Little Rock, of course. You know, it's the oldest brewery for sure in Central Arkansas, and they've been doing it for a long, long time. But if you haven't been there lately, they've rebranded some things, they've tweaked some things, and I think they got their recipes right on time. I actually was drinking one of their beers last night downtown. So Blue Golden Lager is one of their favorites, and it's been rebranded. If you haven't had their Golden Lager lately, check it out. Also, Little Red Strawberry Lager, if you like a little fruity flavor twist. And then they've got a full line of seltzers as well, Wes. So I can get in fighting shape. You know, I don't want to get in the MMA necessarily, but certainly wouldn't mind being in a little better shape. Low carb, low cal, 4 flavors: mango peach, citrus lime, wild berry, and raspberry lemonade. It is Diamond Bear Taproom and Pub. Check out their beer, check out their seltzers, and you can also obviously find it in your local package stores if you can't get over to the Taproom and Pub.
Now, you were taking issue with that young man's nickname, Downtown, obviously Star City.
Oh, I didn't take issue with it, Pigskin. I had no problem with it whatsoever.
Star City not being a major metropolis area. But, you know, think about if you were to go into MMA.
Right.
Fruity flavored twist would not be a good nickname.
No, it would not.
I'll come up with a better nickname.
No,
for
I
you.
think for sure.
Okay,
but I wouldn't worry about it because I'm a lover, not a fighter.
We remember what Harold Ramis said in Stripes. As my father told me, never hit anyone in anger unless you're absolutely certain you can get away with it.
Yes. So. And my father told me that he rarely wears underwear, but when he does, it's usually something interesting like a mesh or a camouflage. Patrick Presley is on the line, and I've known Patrick a long time. Patrick is on the Brandon Moving and Storage Hotline, to be exact. Patrick is a lover and a fighter. You don't want to cross him, but he's also a very sweet gentleman most of the time. Patrick is now promoting Wings Over Bryant. This is a brand new event that is really taking off. See what I did there? Bump. What do you say, brother? How are you?
Let's just hope it doesn't crash and burn.
Oh, gee. No. Jeez. Wes, you are an idiot. Patrick, tell me about the event. It's tomorrow night, right?
Nice.
What is the cost to come to this thing?
We'll be here tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about air shows, Patrick. So, I mean, what can I expect?
I know somebody's sitting there thinking, well, why would I go and pay for this air show when I can just go somewhere, you know, like a half a mile away and park my car and watch it?
Boy, Wes,
so what would be the benefit of being there
keep
in
on coming.
person instead of, you know, just being cheap and watching it down the road?
Wes.
It's first day in radio. Patrick, I appreciate you guys. What time do we start tomorrow? All right, buddy. I appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
You heard RJ's doing some stunt flying, like wing walking. I think RJ's like in the middle of 3 or 4X. That's what they said the other. I heard that. I'm pretty sure I heard that.
Yeah, well, the morning show is full of lies. That's not true. Yeah, I told Wes the other day, I said, hey, Wes, I'm going on a cruise. He said, yeah, I hope you don't hit an iceberg and sink and die. That would suck. Hopefully there's a door you can lay on if the ship goes down. Have a great time.
He said, break a leg. These guys going up in the in the cage.
I hope it doesn't. You know?
Well, we know that, but you can't say that. That's bad juju. What's wrong with you,
no,
knucklehead?
It's not.
It isn't. Are you kidding me? That is the essence of bad juju.
That's why they say break a leg.
I'm going to break your leg, you goof. What's wrong with you? Oh, my God. Can we do champs and chumps? Guess who my chump is? I'm sitting next to him. Jiminy Christmas. Let's do this quick, and then we'll
have
get
a
to
safe
more.
trip. I mean, don't you say that to
Yeah,
people?
have a safe trip. Not don't crash and burn, you knucklehead. Hey, I hope your wing doesn't fall off. Have a good time, pal.
I'm taking Wes to the airport after the show. He's going to welcome the people and give them a pat on the back.
Hey,
before they
Pigskin,
get on
have
the
a great
flight.
flight. Hope you don't get hijacked. Hey, I hope they fueled the plane up. I hope nobody fires an RPG at you guys. Have a good time. Let's hit a break. Okay, we go. That's fine. We'll do it. I'm dying here. Yesterday, before he went on a very special ride, Wes talked to a guy named Alex Harville, who's a daredevil motorcycle rider, and Wes said, have a good stunt, don't die. Well, he didn't listen. Yesterday, he crashed during a world record jump attempt. The 28-year-old goes off a huge ramp, 351 feet, at an air show. It was in an air show, so we should keep air shows with airplanes and motorcycle shows at motorcycle shows. Anyway, he went over his handlebars, tumbled dozens of feet, finally came to a stop, and died.
Yikes.
And died. So, but again, 100% on you, bro. I'm sorry. This is like bungee jumping and jumping out of a plane.
Evil
I'm sorry.
Knievel stuff.
I mean, look.
It might not end well.
I don't want anything bad to happen to you people. And I appreciate the fact that there are lunatics. We've all seen the movie Jackass 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys do stupid stuff. Bad things can happen. But, I mean, I got to say, bro, you got to have that thing. I thought they got that old, like, that you had engineers working on the speed you have to be at and the angle of launch and all that. I mean, this guy crashed right into the side of this giant dirt mound and went out.
I mean, Justin, even at the end of the Three Stooges movie, the Farrelly brothers came on and said, we're doing fake stuff. Don't poke someone in the eye. Don't hit them with a hammer. You know, they're trying to tell you that.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to tell these guys jumping 351 feet. It might not end well.
It might not end well.
Yeah.
My champ is Michael Jordan. Again, all he does is win.
Air show.
His 80-foot Viking yacht named Catch 23, he and his team caught a 25-pound fish that landed him the leading dolphin category in a $4.5 million tournament because he needs the money. To be clear, he caught a dolphin fish, though. It's mahi-mahi, not actual dolphins. What about the dolphins? They're getting stuck in the nets. What about the tuna fish? Screw them. They taste good. Anyway, dolphin fish, not dolphin. Mike's in the lead, $4.5 million fishing tournament, it says. So, hey, good luck to Mike. And, hey, I hope he wins because I know he's almost destitute.
Then Lambeer's yacht crashed into it and clotheslined him.
And then Wes screamed from the shore, hope you don't drown! MJ, swim! Feel free.
The rich
I'll
get
give
richer.
Mark Cuban and Dirk Nowitzki a champ of the week.
Mm-hmm.
He's just hired Dirk as a special advisor to help them in the coaching search after they decided to part ways with Rick Carlisle.
Was that their idea or Carlisle's idea?
I think it was Rick's.
I think he was kind of sick of it.
I think he wants to go to New Orleans.
I think he's going to Boston.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, he's going somewhere because he's too good of a coach.
Well, he's not there anymore. We know that. We got Game 7, by the way, Bucks and Nets tomorrow. Anyway, who's your chump?
Chump.
Don't have one? Good preparation, Wes. Christian, what you got? It's first week. It's his first week here, I'm telling you. Is that was a trade that was made last night a champ or chump move?
Kimba?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
So why did Boston do that?
Does Presti understand that the rosters are at no time soon going to expand to 56 players? He knows this, doesn't he? Okay.
Who is your chump this week? Yeah.
Can't shoot.
There is a Joe Klein sent us a picture this morning to Wes and myself. There is a is it a wanted poster or missing? It's a missing. There's a missing poster in Philadelphia that people are putting out with Ben Simmons' face on it. That's so sad.
Harsh.
And the reward was like $27 million.
Yeah, well, that's probably what he's being paid, right?
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not good. All right, we got to run. Philip Martin's coming up. It's 11:48. Take a timeout. We'll come back here in a moment. We are at the Hall of Industry. Again, if you want to see some mixed martial arts, it's happening here in the cage tomorrow night. 6 o'clock doors, 7 o'clock start. Fights. Got 11 of them. $30 tickets, all the way up to $100, and on pay-per-view as well. Peakfighting.com for more info. We'll be back in a moment. All right, welcome back in the zone. We are here at the State Fairgrounds at the Hall of Industry. Philip Martin is on the Brandon Moving and Storage Hotline. And this is, Philip, you know I love you, and I love having you on. But I'm as excited about this segment as I've been, I think, for any we've done, because there's more than one movie in the theater this weekend that I would actually like to go see, if you can believe it. I love it.
You know, just a summary as you can get. We've got a Rudy knockoff, and we've got, you know, Salma Hayek. Really, it's just, I'm not a little bit, but it's really kind of intoxicating.
Oh, man.
Because, yeah, it feels normal.
Oh, I'm going to eat popcorn and... Yeah, I'm going to eat popcorn. I'm going to have Dr. Pepper. I'm so excited. I'm going to have some, maybe some Juji fruits. I don't know. We'll see what I'm
Skittles.
into. Yeah,
See what-
I'm not
how it
really a
works
Skittles
out.
guy. I'm lying. I'm going to get Milk Duds or peanut M&Ms. That's what I always get.
How did we not know, about Jim Dent being in prison? That was a great article, Philip. Great. No, I didn't know that.
Who is Jim Dent, for those who don't know?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like, everybody who follows football has read Jim Dent at some point. You know, and I've met the guy. I was down in the 80s, and long story, but I knew a lot of people from newspapers and things like that. And you know, Jim Dent has always had this, reputation as this wonderful, human being. But since 1983, he's just had trouble staying out of jail. You know, it's like, it's bad.
More sympathetic I could not be.
I just heard from a friend of his, and he can confirm that he's getting out next month.
Philip, what's this?
Jim's been sober for a couple of months.
Good.
It's good. What's the story with 12 mighty orphans? Is this a true story, I assume?
It's a true story. In the Depression, Fort Worth orphanage, this guy, Rusty Russell, came over there. He basically invented single-league football. He was like doing the spread offense back then. So these kids, and there's, I don't know what it is about orphans, but apparently they're undersized. So he was running them in the spread offense, beating a lot of big schools that he shouldn't beat. They won a state championship. I read the book here. So the book is after. The movie is pretty much a Rudy knockoff, but that's what you're going to get. You try to do. You can't put nuance. You can't put the really interesting things about football. You can't really translate that to 90-minute movie.
But this movie's almost 2 hours, right? Did I read that right?
Yeah, how long is it?
It's like 154, I thought. Yeah. So what?
158, something like that.
You can only play with 11 guys. Is there just 12 kids on the team? What's the significance of the? That's crazy.
Good grief.
12 kids on the team.
Who plays both ways? Why not you, Bob? I'm not good. I only play on the one side. What about so? Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be the Dow Loggins story. I can't wait to watch it. You can help put that together.
How's the football in the movie? Is it hard to watch?
Okay, it's problematic. It's hard to replicate decent football. Yeah.
We were talking like last week about the hockey and this HBO thing, Bearstown, which was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that they just really got kids to play hockey. Here, it's actors. This Jacob Laughlin, who was in Mud, is in it. I mean, he doesn't embarrass himself. In football, it's not as hard to pull off as something like golf or
Yeah.
hockey or baseball or something like
Sure.
that. Because if you speed the film up and slow it down and make the edits a certain way, it looks okay. But it's not. It's like
They made us think Adam Sandler was Lawrence Taylor in The Waterboy.
Yeah.
He looked great coming off the edge. So
Well,
there you go.
Some movies are more effective than others. Listen, Philip, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fat athlete now, but that's okay. Listen, we've only got like 2 minutes left, and I got to ask you about three things. So we got to pound through these here real quick. The Hitman movie I was really hyped about. Then I read the review by I think it was Dan Liebarger that had it in the paper today. Did not like it, but look, you got Samuel, you got Salma Hayek, and I love Ryan Reynolds. I'll watch him do anything. It's got to be at least reasonably entertaining, right?
that's the way I look at it. I mean, my review of the first one is not good, but I enjoyed it because you've got like this Chevy Chase kind of wheedling guy. You've got Samuel L. Jackson, cursing like this new language. It's just wonderful. And there's Selma Hayek. You can match and everything. And this one's got, you know, the added feature of Morgan Freeman and kind of trick casting. And I'm not supposed to, you know, spoil the movie by telling you what it is. So it wouldn't spoil the movie if I told you that he was Ryan Reynolds, you know, father. So.
Yeah, don't tell us that. Okay, so it's okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Oh, okay, then I want to see it. Those are two movies I want to see then. All right, what about this? We only have about a minute left. Tell me about the Sparks Brothers. I didn't know anything about the Sparks until I watched the trailer after you suggested this morning. This looks fascinating.
Yeah, you know, I was making their part. Hickskin may know about this. My lawyer really likes it. One of their favorite bands. And I had it mixed up with the Gleaming Spires, which was actually a side project of theirs. They did Are You Ready for the Sex Girls, which was Revenge of the Nerds. And I mean, I was really kind of like, okay, I know who these guys are, but I didn't know who these guys were.
Right.
This is just the most fascinating movie where it is, you know, 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Is it? Yeah. We got to go, but is it streaming or is it in theaters?
It is in theaters.
Okay.
I know it's just because miracle of everything. I'm actually at the Tribeca Film Festival and the Nashville Film Festival right now because we got virtual passes.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was a feature at Nashville last night, and we just watched it on a whim, and it's like the Go-Go's movie.
I gotcha. Hey.
You don't learn all that much about their private lives, and you don't really have to know their music. It's just fascinating.
We will check it out. We are out of time, buddy. I appreciate you, Philip. Have a great weekend. All right. Don't drown or anything. Exactly right. Hey, I hope you don't choke on your popcorn and die. All right, have a good time at the movies, kids. See you, buddy. All right, welcome back. It's 12:06, final hour live here at the fairgrounds in the Hall of Industry, where tomorrow night it is going down. We are going to have MMA fighting galore, 11 fights starting at 7, doors at 6. Come on and get you some, and we'll talk more about that in 1 second. I wanted to mention somebody had sent in on the First Arkansas Bank and Trust text line to ask Philip about Top Gun, the Maverick movie, and I apologize, we ran out of time. In fact, we ran into the top of the hour because Philip has a lot to say, dang it, and we need to get him on a little bit earlier. We're always running late and tight on time. I hate it, but he's got so much good to talk about, and this is actually the first weekend where there are multiple movies that are going to be worth watching. Do you know anything about this the Sparks?
I've heard of them, but I haven't seen anything about the.
You should watch the trailer. It's about 2 minutes. It's interesting. So basically, they're like a pop band that sort of evolved over time, but they're the band that bands like, apparently.
Right.
Like they were all these like famous musicians love the Sparks. I never even heard of them. Yeah.
There's another band like that, Neutral Milk Hotel.
Okay.
I mean,
sure.
All the insiders like them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one of those things.
That's a little out there for me. Anyway, so we'll do some entertainment here in a second. We got birthdays coming up as well. We got a Zone Rewind. And, oh, by the way, for the second straight week, I forgot bleeping Thursday. Christian, I am terribly sorry.
What's Friday?
I know, but I didn't do it yesterday. I remember that today. I remembered that I forgot.
Was I the only one as I walked into the Hall of Industry, I kept thinking the Hall of Justice? You know, like Superman and Batman, that's where those guys hung out. This could be the Hall of Justice as these fights go down.
There's going to be some justice meted out.
Meted out. That's right. Yeah.
We're joined by the promoter of the event tomorrow night, Brian Poe, again. And, Brian, I appreciate you having us out today.
Sure, thanks.
Man, I got so much good feedback on TJ Brown. He's got a heck of a story, and it's so nice to meet him in person. I've heard a lot about him. We have not had a chance to talk to him before.
He's cool.
Yeah, he is.
Very well spoken.
Yeah, he's great. Yep. He's great. And he doesn't scare me as much as Bryce Mitchell because I'm not sure what's going on in Bryce's brain. There's a lot of strange things happening. He really likes deer, though.
Bryce would leap across this table and tackle you like he tackled the deer.
He is a spider monkey. That guy scares me. So tomorrow's going to be fun. I mean, what are you expecting in here as far as numbers go?
500-600 people.
Okay.
Probably.
It'll be pretty raucous. This is a pretty live room. I mean, there's not much to soak up sound in here.
No, not at all. And that cage, especially when someone gets picked up and slammed on it, it's loud.
Yeah.
Probably feel it in your feet sitting in the chairs out here.
Yeah.
How we were watching it happen here today, but how long does it take to set everything up from start to finish?
Depends on how many guys we've got. Sometimes like here we've got a loading dock. We do have a forklift, but a lot of it has to be walked in. Sometimes we can drive directly into the box truck there and unload it. Mm-hmm. About the fastest it's ever gone up totally is probably 4 or 5 hours. It's usually more like 6 to 8.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's a day killer.
Can I ask you a dumb question?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because I'm dumb.
There are no dumb questions.
Well, there are some. What do you do with the rest of your life?
I own a outdoor power equipment business in Texarkana. Okay. We sell Echo, Skag, Cub Cadet.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Power equipment.
Turned out it wasn't a dumb question.
That was a great
You're like, well, I get ready for the next show. What do you mean? I work hard. Shut up.
I call the next venue.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Can you buy tickets at the door, or do you have to buy them online?
You can do either. They've got an ATM right here in the entrance at the lobby. It's quicker here at the door if you do cash, because if you give us a credit card, we can still run it, but we basically have a laptop, and we basically take your credit card and enter the information like you would do on your mobile phone or a laptop. So from a credit card standpoint, we can do it. Very few people do that because it's just a slower process, whereas if you do it on your phone ahead of time, it gives you a QR code. You can download it, screenshot it, and it'll
tell these millennials and Gen Zers to get some cash. Legal tender.
Right,
it's quicker. It's easier. Helps the government.
Is it reserved seating or is it general admission?
There are on 2 of the 4 sections in the back. There is general admission. Those are the $30 tickets, and those I haven't checked lately. Those may be gone, or if not, there's just a handful of them left. The rows in front of that, the 4 or 5 rows in front of that, those are select a seat on the website. Those you have to pick. So
gotcha.
That's what slows it down a little bit when they come in the door tomorrow night if they haven't bought their tickets, which is fine. We do that. I mean, we do it every show, but they'll, somebody at the ticket desk will show them the laptop and say, where do you want to sit? And they'll say, well, I want that one, that one, that one. And they'll select it and then ring them up and then come on in.
Gotcha.
How much would it be if I wanted to have my seat inside the cage? Could you make a deal with me on that?
Yeah, that one's off limits. Matter of fact, you can't even go. There's actually a technical zone.
Is that right?
Yeah, by state law.
They don't want blood flying out of there onto you.
Yeah.
Well, plus he looked at me and said he wouldn't be quick enough to get out of the way if they crashed into the side.
Oh, I'm sure there's a number, but I don't think it's a number you'd be willing to pay.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we could get you like floating over on a drone over the top of the cage.
I want to
probably
get
for the right
Wes
price.
up there, and Wes is going to say, "Don't get your nose broken."
Yeah, I tell you what.
Tell that
Be
guy.
good. Thank you.
I sometimes will sit. My wife and I and Johnny's wife will have a table right here. I sometimes will walk under the rope into the technical zone and sit at the catwalk there where the judges and the Arkansas State Athletic Commission sit and the inspectors. And I mean, the chain link fence is right in front of you, and especially the heavy guys, the heavyweights, when they lock up and they come at that cage. It's a moment where you're like, man, I hope everything on the cage went together well.
Those are those Frank Sinatra seats,
Right.
Yeah, that the elite get. I like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, we've seen it in boxing go through the ropes. Does that ever happen? Have you ever seen that?
Not with ours, it has not.
Yeah.
No, it's. I mean, we pretty much. I mean, they lock the panels. They're laying over there. They're fixing to go up here in just a minute, but they lock in place, and then on top of that, we get large industrial hose clamps that lock each panel to the pole and to the other adjacent panel. I mean, we don't just trust belt. We do belt and suspenders.
Gotcha.
Make sure it's right. Yeah.
This is
Gel
one of these
and moose.
This is one of these things you probably get a completely different feel if you're here in person than you do watching on television.
You can't even imagine. Yeah, without a doubt. And there, usually when people say, well, I don't want to, it's, brutal. And I mean, statistically speaking, there's more concussions that occur on a high school football field on Friday in the fall than there are.
You got the
here.
sweet science of boxing and other things.
And but generally speaking, if someone ever does say, you know what, let's just go and see they're hooked.
Wow.
I've never met anybody that said it wasn't really what I was expecting. No, it's everything in this.
Think back when you were a kid in school, guys and girls. When someone said, fight, everybody went out to watch.
They did.
So that's something in the human nature.
But you only got one of them. Now you get 11. It's a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
Who's next? Teachers always came and screwed things up. I was at a brawl one time. It was a whole thing. Like Jeremy Brown and this other kid who ended up killing somebody later on in a robbery. It was a horrible deal.
Yikes.
If Jeremy had known that, he probably would not have fought the kid. But anyway, we all go to this like remote location, and everybody. I mean, there's like 50 people there waiting, and like the one dude's there, and then here comes my man Jeremy, and he comes up, and it is on. And so one of the guys' buddies was barking, and my buddy Jeremy's, our other buddy Nick, didn't like the barking, and so he goes over and knocks that dude out.
Whoa!
It was quite a scene.
I always got a lot of tough guys. You got wrestlers, farmers. I mean, these are men of the earth.
Somebody said something about somebody's girlfriend, and then it went off the rails from there. But yeah, the dude and the guy ended up kind of beating my buddy up. It was not a good scene. But then my buddy Nick beat up the other kid, so that was kind of cool. We called it even for the day. But this kid he was in a robbery, man, and he ended up going in there and like he took the guy back in the back room. He used to work at this gas station. He ended up shooting the dude and killing him.
Son, I went to a school like that. We had shootings. We had one of my best friends. He punched the assistant principal through a window, and they threw him out of school in perpetuity. He could never come back.
Oh yeah.
The guy lived, but
Did they throw him out of school through the window?
He punched him through a window.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a rough place.
Like
man.
he punched the guy and the guy went through a window, or he punched him reaching through a window.
He punched the dude, and the dude went flying through a window.
Barkley-esque.
Man, that's like some action movie.
Yes.
stuff,
In his defense, nobody liked the principal, so you brought that on
Doesn't
yourself.
make it right.
As Eddie Murphy would say.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think that's how that works, though.
No,
Tim has a question. He asked Wes, but I hope it's okay if I ask for you, Tim, here. Brian, he wanted to know if there was seating for disabled or handicapped seating here at the fights.
We've got plenty of
Okay.
Yep, there's plenty of space.
There you go.
Yep.
Nightwalker says in Ozark Mountain, he says, Season 3 finale cliffhanger, a family patriarch was involved in a drive-by, da-da-da, what is this? Oh, we're talking about Yellowstone. Okay, Yellowstone is back Sunday.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait.
I forgot. That's right. It is this Sunday.
So here's
Father's
the big
Day.
question. Does Kevin Costner pull through? Because you saw what happened in the last
No, I
episode.
didn't. Have no idea
I'm
what
a
you're
season
talking about.
behind.
They
so.
opened up.
He doesn't want you to know.
No, well, I know, but in the last episode.
Let
it's
him
already
watch.
been out.
He hasn't seen it.
For crying out
You're
loud.
dying to tell it.
Well,
I mean, you look at him. You can tell.
He is the king of
yes.
spoilers.
Oh my word! He's not. He's probably.
Brian,
in
you
a
want to
bad
hear a
mood
funny,
now.
terrible story? You ever see $1 Million Baby?
Clint
Yeah.
Eastwood.
Yeah, right. So we're at church on Sunday. I used to go to his church. I still go to his church for some reason. I'm an idiot. So Friday night, the movie comes out. Dum Dum goes and sees it with his lovely wife. Well, on Sunday, he's like, in the movie, and then she dies at the end. 2 days later, I'm like, hey, butthole, I haven't seen it yet. What is wrong with you? You idiot. I mean, 2 days later at church, and I couldn't scream at him because A, he's the preacher, and B, we're in church.
I'm guessing he didn't even feel bad. He probably got some enjoyment.
He
out of
acted
that.
like he did.
I felt horrible.
I am not about holding a grudge. This guy has a memory like an elephant. I usually do not hold a grudge. That's the one thing that I'm still angry about.
It was a really good movie.
It was great.
And me divulging that tidbit of information pretty much ruined the movie.
You know how people say,
did.
"Oh, it has nothing to do with the plot."
This had
It was the
everything
whole
to do-
plot.
It was the
That was the whole
plot.
story.
It was.
You ruined it.
Terrible.
You ruined it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, let's do some entertainment. Knucklehead.
Today's entertainment report by Bell and Sword Gentlemen's Clothing in Conway. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram, or stop by Bell and Sword at 1016 Oak Street in Conway.
I was this many years old when I found out that Frank Bonner, one of the stars of WKRP in Cincinnati, was from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Arkansas boy.
Had no idea.
Herb Tarlick, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He carries the cup, the Razorback cup
Yes.
around.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was from Arkansas.
Oh.
Well, he's now passed away. But anyway, rest in peace, Frank Bonner. So he had Lewy body dementia.
It's like Alzheimer's. I haven't heard one person that worked with that dude that didn't love him to death. They said he was great.
Lonnie Anderson
Great
loved him.
dude. Yeah.
She doesn't like anybody.
Lonnie didn't like Bert, so
Well,
she's like him.
He
So,
treated her better than Bert did, I
That's
imagine.
right.
He was 79 years old. Rest in peace.
good run.
That was a good show, man. I
It
need to
was.
go back and watch it again now that I work in radio. I probably have a new appreciation for
Pretty
it.
funny, and there's some great characters.
Oh,
in
yeah.
it.
Johnny Fever. That was the only one I really remembered
Absolutely.
as a kid. I remember it was Lonnie Anderson for, I don't know why, and Johnny Fever. Those were really the only two things that I...
There was Dr. Venus Flytrap.
Oh, Dr. Venus Flytrap. I love him,
Tim
too.
Reed. Yeah,
yes.
he was good.
That was great. The wand and glasses used by Daniel Radcliffe, bless you, in the Harry Potter films are expected to raise thousands at an upcoming charity auction. And when I read this, I was like, duh, thank you. These Harry Potter nerds will pay tons of money for anything.
No doubt.
Anyway, yeah, but they're going to sell the wand and the glasses. I mean, there's no telling how much money that might fetch.
That wand, you can start putting spells on people.
You kidding me?
Think about it.
Forget about it. That's got to be worth a ton of money, though. I can't wait to see what that sells for. Can I get a little Led Zeppelin from you, Christian, if you don't mind? That'd be great. Researchers in the Misty Mountains of the Ecuadorian Andes have discovered a new species of terrestrial frog, and they have named it after the British band Led Zeppelin.
Misty Mountain Hop. That was one of their songs.
Pristimantis Led Zeppelin, known in English as Led Zeppelin's rain frog, was found by a couple of scientists in the Cordillera del Condor, which straddles southeast Ecuador and northeast Peru. Beautiful area. The small frog, which has coppery red eyes and a mottled yellow, brown, black, and orange skin, is a member of the huge and rapidly expanding Pristimantis genus. One of my favorites. 569 species in there. The Led Zeppelin frog.
They should change the name to the frog of Misty Mountain Hop, because frogs hop. Get
They
it?
do?
Yeah, some of them.
Boy, I don't know why they don't put you in charge of these
I don't
decisions.
know.
It's really it's a shame.
I'm playing chess. Everybody else playing checkers.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. More like Parcheesi.
You sure not the other way around?
Yes. Intermittent fasting approaches to weight loss, such as alternate day fasting or the 5-2 diet, which I think Jimmy Kimmel's a proponent of that. They've exploded, obviously, in popularity, but researchers at the University of Bath, I think that's in England.
It is.
Yeah, it's very clean. They say at the end of the day, dieting, and this one particularly has nothing special about it. They did 36 volunteers. Group 1 fasted on alternate days, and then they asked them to eat 50% more than usual on eating days. Group 2 reduced calories across all their meals by 25%. Group 3 fasted on alternating days like Group 1, but ate a full 100% more food than usual on their eating days. Ultimately, Groups 1 and 3 ended up losing less weight than participants in Group 2, and that held up even when calorie intake was virtually identical across groups. But I will say that intermittent fasting, you're not supposed to eat a whole lot more on your 5
Eat
days.
regularly and then don't eat
Yes.
anything. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's a fair representation. I know a lot of people who have had success with intermittent fasting, so to each.
Yeah, this just in.
Their
If
own.
you don't eat, you'll lose weight. Who knew?
Speaking of fasting, there have been a lot of people who have not been able to hang out in strip clubs in New York, and boy, they were just dying. Guess what? They are jam-packed now. Cuomo announced Tuesday he was lifting COVID restrictions, and the chief operating officer at one of the dance clubs there says, we were busy, you think? Says Says, if I can get 1,500 performers back to New York City, that'd be phenomenal. It's an aggressive audition and hiring process right now. I'm super excited. They have a strip club with locations on the Upper East Side, Midtown, and Times Square, and they will be keeping some COVID rules in place. We're still taking temperatures.
They're wearing a mask. I'm
we
guessing.
have to have some layer of safety for our guests and staff. The temperature thing is so dumb. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was told that I had like a 96-degree temperature, a 99, and I never was kept out. I never was a little high, but still.
Every time my temperature's taken when I go visit someone at the hospital, it's always 97.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I always feel like I'm overheating.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Well, you shouldn't take it rectally. I don't think that's really necessary anymore. We always love to talk about Mackenzie Scott. I mean, she is really just one of the good ones, isn't she?
Oh, what a generous person with someone else's money.
The billionaire philanthropist announced Tuesday she's given $2.7 billion to 286 organizations. It's the third round of major philanthropic gifts that she's made, which together rival the charitable contributions made by the largest foundations. She apparently used to be married to Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
And I don't know how she made her money. It doesn't say here. But anyway, so I just want to spread the word that she continues to promote that she's giving a lot of that money away. Good for her. Yeah. But in her defense, she did have to sleep with him for a long time. So, you know.
He's Lex Luthor from the Superman franchise.
Yes. Yeah. Except all he does is he's a mastermind at making money, though.
He just made $10 billion more in the time it took you to tell that story.
There is no doubt. Okay, I got one last thing. People Magazine. They have a list of reasons to love America. Number one on the list, a guy that I think might be president someday.
Danny McBride.
No, The Rock, but I love Danny McBride too.
Yeah.
The Rock is the number one reason to love America on their list.
I don't know if he's number one. He's like in the top 100, but
yeah.
He is pretty great.
He is pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like the guy?
I would love to have him, and I don't know where his political alignment is with others, but I would like, if you put him and Matthew McConaughey on the same ticket, there's no way they'd lose.
I'd vote right now.
They would win in the greatest landslide in American political history.
Could they do any worse than the last 20 years? Probably not.
Nah.
Yeah.
I think they're both pretty logical dudes. I think they're pretty logical.
If you read McConaughey's book, his story about being a foreign exchange student in Australia is one of the funniest things I've ever read.
He kind of looks Australian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge news for the Robinson Performance Hall. They're back, and Broadway's coming back to Robinson.
Awesome.
They announced the schedule this morning.
I am so excited about one of these shows in particular. I know we all are.
Not Hamilton.
The Simon and Garfunkel story comes end of October.
Amazing.
October 29th, 30th, 31st.
Bridge Over Troubled Water, Wes.
Anastasia, November 13th and 14th.
Yeah, dated her in high school.
Fiddler on the Roof,
Yeah.
January 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Not touching that
And
one.
this one is so big that it's here for several weekends.
Oh, thank goodness.
Hamilton, February 8th through the 20th.
I'm out of town that week.
I'm buying tickets, and we're going. We're going, you knucklehead. I'm buying. We're going.
We have this ongoing debate.
We
if
don't.
Hamilton is good or not good.
He hates
You
it.
haven't ever seen the Broadway version.
No,
you
I
just
watch
saw
it on TV.
Come on.
So you think if I were there in person, like MMA, I would be hooked?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see.
Maybe not hooked, but you'll hate it less.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay. He's like, free
That's
tickets,
all
I'm
we
in.
ask.
I'd do that with you.
That's all we ask.
I'm open-minded.
Did you watch Hamilton?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, you should go to the live show. It's a much better representation, we think.
I would think almost anything. I don't care what it is or how goofy somebody thinks something is.
Better in person.
Everything's better live.
This show's
I'd
a
have
lot
to say
better
so.
in person. People driving down the road right now, like, I can't listen to this.
Lately, I've been.
But if they were here, they would love it.
Lately, I've been relegated to
Well,
watching women on TV, and that's not nearly as much fun as actually going out with one, I have to say. So, I'm with you. All right, and then Hairspray, Wes?
Yeah, Hairspray wraps it up March 4th, 5th, and 6th.
I have never.
That's the one Travolta dressed up as a woman in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's one where Travolta, I've never seen Fiddler on the Roof, and I don't really know the story, but I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
Absolute genius.
So Simon and Garfunkel are not in the Simon and Garfunkel story, I assume, right?
I don't think they're coming here. They're dead, right?
No, they're not dead.
Are they both dead?
No, they're
both alive? Are they dead? No. Are they both dead? Still no.
Those your
Well, let
skis,
me get them on a
both of
ship
them?
or in a plane. We're going to kill them off soon. Get them, Wes. Oh, my gosh. No, they're both very much alive. He is happily married to Edie Brickell.
New Bohemians.
Yeah, what I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, there was a great episode of Flight of the Conchords, and Jermaine, his girlfriend had a thing for Art Garfunkel.
Who don't?
So she made him dress up in a orange afro wig. It was, you'd have to see it to believe it. It's really good.
Okay, we're going to do birthday trivia now, Brian. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, here's how it works. I'm going to describe someone famous. As soon as you know who it is, blurt it out, right?
Okay.
Okay, like if I said MMA fighter from Arkansas, You got like a couple
Bryce
guesses.
Mitchell.
Right,
Sure,
yeah.
fine. Bryce Mitchell.
T.J. Brown.
T.J. Brown.
Yeah, okay. And then we're going to guess round robin style how old they are. So, like, I will start with you first. On the second person, he'll go first, and you'll go last. See how
All
that
right.
works? Okay.
And you'll give an age, and Wes will go one over or one under.
Yeah,
what
that's
he'll
usually
do.
a good way
that's
to
his
go.
MO.
That's how
Okay.
he does.
That's
Okay.
a smart thing to do.
Here's the deal. I have tickets to give away. Jamie,
He's Moneyball.
the weekend continues because we've got this going Saturday night. You've got Wings Over Bryant during the day on Saturday. You got Travs baseball tonight if you're interested in something to do this evening. I'm going to the movies this afternoon.
All good options.
And then on Sunday, you got the Jamie Johnson Whiskey Myers concert in the amphitheater. We're getting back to normal, baby.
Yeah.
We're watching people punch each other in the face. We're playing
Exactly.
baseball,
all
and we're
good.
going to live music events. I mean, this is beautiful.
God
All three
bless
of those,
America.
pure normal.
That's what I'm saying, baby. I'm about it. I'm about it. Give me some apple pie, some moments, and live music, and a little MMA. All right, let's get some people lined up at. What's our phone number? 661-1037?
Yep.
Okay, let's do that.
I'll give you an update real quick while people are calling.
Okay.
On the golf, the big mover today is Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh.
He is 3 under par.
No way.
Yeah, for the day. He's now 1 under for the tournament, tied for 11th place. So after a slow start yesterday, your leader is Dick Bland, otherwise
Bland
known
leader.
as Richard Bland. He's 3 under
How
also
much
for the
would
day.
you like Bryson
Oh,
and Koepka be in the last group with each other
Or
on
any
Sunday?
group tomorrow.
It'd be the
That would be
greatest.
awesome.
It'd be the greatest Sunday ratings in some time.
Yes.
Brooks is 2 under, has not teed off, so they're in vicinity of each other. That would be awesome if they could be paired together.
661-1037. I need players now. We're getting behind. We got a rewind to get to. We got to talk more about the MMA event. Let's go already, people.
go, people.
Let's go. You don't want free tickets to the show? By the way, it's almost sold out. As of this morning, there were 5 tickets left.
Man.
661-1037. People are Jones over live music. I was listening to Jamie Johnson this morning. That dude can write a song now. He is bad. I'm pretty hyped about Sunday.
That's good.
Pretty hyped about the whole weekend. This is a great weekend to be entertained in Central Arkansas.
I might have to wander down there. And
I don't need to go to your dumb
see
big
some of
cities.
this. Exactly.
Yeah, but Wes would say, hey, why would you pay for a ticket when you can watch it from the pavilion for free?
I was wandering around the streets and I could hear it. So
Roger,
yeah.
you're with Brian.
Good enough. How much did it cost you? Nothing.
Roger's with Brian. I need one more player. Orrin is with Orrin. You don't hear that name a lot.
Orrin Hatch.
Oh, well, yeah, that. And Orrin, I think, was the name of the kid that picked up the guys in planes, trains, and automobiles. You
Good get.
You
yes.
you the showering curtain guy? Yeah. Get your lazy behind out of that truck. Oh no, we can get it. Hey, she's small and skinny, but she's strong. First one, come out sideways. She didn't scream or nothing. I think his name was Orrin. Anyway, Keith, you're with Wes, and Christian, you've got Lance. Here we go. Let's do it.
It's now time for Birthday Trivia with the Zone, brought to you by Elliot's Mexican Grill in Morrilton. Elliot's only uses the highest quality cheese in their white and yellow cheese dip. Be careful, it's addictive. Just like the Zone. Take the Morrilton exit to Elliot's Mexican Grill on your next road trip.
Okay, this guy is a country music star.
Hank Williams Jr.
He's a tall drink.
George
Blake Shelton. Christian,
Strait.
good job. How old's Blake Shelton today, Brian? What do you think? Mr. Gwen Stefani.
He is.
Tough gig.
54.
Okay?
46.
Okay?
45.
Okay, 45. Bingo bango.
Told
By the way,
ya.
if you get exactly right, it's 2 points.
Sweet.
All right, this guy is a pretty good musician. He had a great solo career. He had a very successful band career.
Page.
And then he was a part of
Paul
the
McCartney.
most successful band ever, Paul McCartney.
I think Christian got
He
there
sure
first.
did. How old is Mr. McCartney today? You should know this.
79.
You guys are about the same age. That's right. Bingo bango, Chuck. You'll get a chance to play in a minute. This guy is an former NFL tight end, one of the all-time greats.
Billy Joe Dupree.
And
Jackie
the crazy
Smith,
thing about him
Kellen
is
Winslow.
he didn't even play football in college.
Antonio Gates.
Antonio
Doggone
Gates.
it.
Wes
Oh,
Moore,
yeah.
how old is he?
Chargers.
He is 41.
Bingo bango. Wes Moore is on
Wes.
fire today. Keith, you're feeling good. All right. This guy's a Hall of Fame football player, too. Also not playing anymore. Former
Dick
defensive
Butkus.
end. He retired as
Lawrence
the
Taylor.
all-time
Bruce
sacks
Smith.
leader with 200.
Reggie White.
Mark Gastineau.
Former Buffalo Bill.
Bruce
Joe
Smith.
Klecko.
Bruce Smith.
Did you
yeah.
say Bruce Smith already?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did.
There was so much talking. Christian, how old's Bruce Smith today?
Bruce Smith is 53.
No. Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith is going to be in his, what did he say, 53?
53.
No, he's older than that.
Okay, give me a number.
61.
No.
The Virginia Tech product is 59.
No.
58.
to perfection. Bingo, bango. Last but not least,
What do you got? What
I told
what do you
you.
got going on over here? What do you?
He
He's
just
just-
I just listen to Pigskin.
He's the
He won.
remora who affixes himself to my shirt.
also today, Hall of Fame NBA basketball player has been dead since 2005, but I wanted to recognize him because we all had to do his dumb drill when we were kids. George
Bob
Mikan.
Cousy.
George Mikan, rest in peace.
Ah.
Wes wins,
What was
which
that
means the Mikan drill?
Yeah.
You were a big guy, right? You played
Yeah.
inside. You do the layup on one side, you catch it out of the hoop, you do the layup on the other side,
That
you do
was
the layup
it.
on the other side. You never do the Mikan drill?
I didn't know it was
That's
the
the Mikan drill.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call
Yeah.
what do they call it over there? In Texas.
I don't know.
Annoying, boring drill that you have to do as a big man is what they
The
call
Bob Lilly drill.
it. There you go. Anyway, rest in peace, George Mikan. Keith, we'll see you at the concert on Sunday, buddy.
Good job, Keith.
Yes, very nice, very nice. And I definitely think you should take advantage of all the things around town this weekend, including the MMA show here at the Hall of Industry.
Great to be in Arkansas.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it really is.
is.
I'm proud to be in Arkansas.
Absolutely.
Or at least I know I'm busy this weekend.
Right.
We have to take a break. We'll do a little rewind. We'll tell you more about the MMA event, and I'm going to eat a cookie, and everything's coming up roses. Pigskin, you going to leave? Yeah. Yeah, say goodbye.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, okay, great. Oh, as we head to the break, thank you. Good reminder. Let me tell you about WH Law. If you have any problems from a legal standpoint, call my friends at WH Law. You can text them a question if you want as well. They do free consultation. WHLawoffices.com is their website. 1-888-HELP is the phone number. You can call it or text it, and they help with all sorts of legal issues, civil disputes, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy law, employment law, basically anything that ails you from a legal standpoint, they will cover for you. They've got flat fee pricing, so they make the process a little bit easier for you and a little easier to understand and a little less concerning because everybody's worried about how much they're going to have to pay for their legal services, right? We all worry about these things. But you don't have to because they've got flat fee pricing, makes it simple. They have offices in North Little Rock, in Conway, in Bryant, Cabot, and Fayetteville. And again, they're online at WHLawoffices.com. We are back in a moment at the Hall of Industry on the State Fairgrounds in the Rock. Be back in a moment. That is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Game 7 forced by the Bucks last night with a cruising victory. They won by about 17 points. Tonight, Sixers and Hawks. Critical for the Sixers because, if they lose, it's over and stuff. It is a 6:30 game in Atlanta trying to close it out. Philly's a 3-point road favorite. Clippers hosting the Jazz. Clippers are leading that series 3-2 despite not having Kawhi Leonard for the remainder. And Utah is a slight road favorite at 2.5. And then the Game 7 tomorrow, Wes. By the way, both games are on ESPN tonight. And the Game 7 tomorrow is on TNT at 7:30. So that'll be another item of note. But for those of you who are going to be at the MMA event, well, you'll just have to tape it. Anyway. Thank you, Roger Scott, who sent me a note here. The handyman that picked up, or the guy that picked up the guys in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was Owen. Owen, not Oren. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. And we're going to do a rewind in a second. Let me get a quick call in here and tell us, I got to tell you about Gwatney Chevrolet, too. I saw they had an ad in the paper today. And James was talking about a lot of used cars. He didn't really talk about it, but his face was on there. And they said, well, want a deal on a used car? Ask James. Or we want to sell your used car? Ask James. Or James is kind of the guy. He's so busy we can't talk to him today. Gwatney Chevrolet offering award-winning sales and service. And, of course, all you have to do is pop out to Jacksonville to find out all about it. But they are really doing some crazy things right now related to pre-owned vehicles. 84 months. Finance for 84 months on a pre-owned car? Crazy. 90 days with no payment, even crazier, but it is all available at Gwatney Chevrolet. It's, and, of course, I got a great selection of, new cars, too. So go by and see them. It's the Gregory Street exit. They're actively buying used cars, too, and paying up to $4,000 over book. So if you're just trying to get rid of a car or you need a new car or both, Gwatney's the spot. You know that. So go by and see him. All right, let's do our rewind here, and then we will take our final break.
Now it's time to look back. It's the best interview and show moments of the week. It's the Zone Rewind. Brought to you by Mosquito Joe's. Don't let pesky bugs spoil your summer. Mosquito Joe rids your yard of mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks so you can enjoy being outside. Call 501-508-2528 or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com for a free quote. Mention the buzz and you'll get your first service for just $39.
Novak Djokovic, I claim, is the greatest tennis player ever to walk the earth, even though he does not have the most Grand Slams. To his credit, we all agree he will soon enough. He had a tough week, but he did get the job done at the French.
Obviously, there's always, two voices inside. There's one that is telling you that you can't do it, that, it's done, finished. That voice was pretty strong after that second set. And so I feel like I felt that there was a time for me to actually vocalize the other voice and try to suppress the first one that was saying that I can't make it. So I told myself I can do it, encouraged myself.
Kirby's having issues.
Strongly started to repeat that inside of my mind and try to live it with my entire being. Real, and I'm very proud of this achievement.
Should be. Oh, sorry, there's more.
With all my heart is always something that is very inspiring and very fulfilling. So, couldn't be happier and more satisfied with this kind of scenario in the last 48 hours. Probably ranks in the top 3 all-time achievements and experiences that I had in my professional tennis career.
Jeez. Talk a lot or what?
Yeah, that was kind of long.
Moving on. 23 years ago this week, Michael Jordan and the Bulls, their last title, knocking off the Jazz, the push-off that was never called. I don't think he pushed him.
17 seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Chicago with the lead. Timeout, Utah. 5.2 seconds left.
knows what will unfold in the next several months. But that may have been the last shot Michael Jordan will ever take in the NBA.
Am I confused? Was the Russell shot, was that the year before? Was that in the 5th title? Because didn't they beat Utah back-to-back years, or am I nuts?
Yes, they did.
Okay, I can't remember if the Russell one was the push-off was the year before. I think it was in the 5th title. Anyway, Tommy Tuberville yammering this week, talking about college football and its relationship to the professional ranks.
Most of them are getting $600, $700, $800 cash a month for what we call cost of attendance. And so nobody's going hungry as a college athlete, man and women. But it should always be about education. If we get away from that, then we'll lose. But it's not a minor league.
Right, but it's good business. These schools make billions and billions of dollars. Because the kids get some of it, though, right? I mean, like, I see some, Auburn guys, Bo Jackson over the years, Cam Newton, guys like that were so big that these guys could have made some serious money. And what happens if they get hurt? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, the NFL. I mean, that's the only thing I say. We can't get to the point where we say, okay, we have to play the real big guys, but we don't let go to the NFL. Again, it all goes back to the team, and all goes back to things that are costing education. This is not farm, minor league sports. It is education. It's an opportunity to play. It gives me, the kids, an opportunity to play something. After that, that's the last time they let me play. So, at the end of the day, it's everybody.
Should be.
Good thing he's not coaching anymore.
I tend to agree with him, but you're right. That would not play very well with recruits. Charles Barkley this week had a lot of things to say, including he's only going to do TNT's show for a couple more years because basically they're trying to censor him to some degree. Mostly he can't call women in San Antonio fat anymore, and it really hurts his feelings. Anyway, he did give a shout-out to a guy. Apparently he lost his wallet this week, and some guy found it.
Can I give a shout-out? It's important. I want to give a shout-out to a guy. He's a Georgia Bulldog. Hey! His name is Matt Powell. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I lost my wallet today, Ernie. And Matt Powell, P-Y-L-E-S, I hope I said his name right. He returned it. He got in touch with TNT and gave him my wallet back. And that was really awesome. I lost it at Chipotle. And I didn't even know it. And still carry a wallet? Yeah. Are you like the only person in the world that still carries a wallet? You know, why put the wallet in that door? You use the wallet? Real fast. Matt, hey, you're a Georgia Bulldog. I think you drive the wallet some days, and then some days I just use my. Jack, you carry a wallet? I have a badge, sir. Wait, nobody has a wallet for me. I do carry it some days. Some days you don't. Thank you, man. Hey, Matt, meet me at the spot where we talked about.
Doesn't everybody carry a wallet?
I thought so.
I mean, I could see like a money clip in certain, like if you're going to a club or something and you just want to have a money clip in your front pocket, I could see that. But
You need
how do you pay
driver
for things?
license, a card,
I mean, I guess you could pay Apple Pay.
and a little bit of cash.
I mean, I Apple Pay off my phone sometimes, but like,
You still need your driver. And your driver's license is about to be available on your phone. I saw that story.
Is it?
Yep.
Huh. Interesting.
And I know you like my insurance. My car insurance is on my phone.
Yeah. My car insurance is in my car, but that's cool. Anyway, last but not least, so we got another match coming up here. I guess is it July or August? So it's Aaron Rodgers and DeChambeau against Tom Brady, and who's his pro?
What? I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about the wallet. That's
I'm
blowing my
gonna
mind.
put a poll up on Twitter in a second. Who? Mickelson. Is Phil Mickelson playing with Brady?
Yes.
Okay, against Aaron Rodgers and DeChambeau.
Yeah.
Anyway, a little trash talk here, and they were giving Rodgers a hard time because, sometimes they kick field goals when he doesn't want to.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you can say all you want, but Aaron and I are grinders and competitors, and, just like y'all are, our golf games are a little bit better, so, we'll see. We'll see. I do think you do have a partner that would probably like to go for it a little more often than he has in the past. So, Bryce, I'm glad you're encouraging him to kind of go for it when it's on the line. So rather than, just knock it in the fairway or something like that and try to play for the next shot. Yeah, I'll never push anyone to do anything. So he can choose whatever he wants to do. All right. Well, I usually don't get the option in my. You'll finally have
have the option here. So, I know the pain.
There you go. That's it. 12:48. Let's hit a break. Come back. We'll wrap it up. We'll spend the last 10 minutes or so telling you all the details you need to know about the MMA event tomorrow night here at the Hall of Industry. And I will tell you this process has been impressive to watch take shape as they build the ring. But this is the quiet part. The loud part was the framing, apparently, of the structure, but we are moving on down the road here, so that's good.
Right, yeah, we've got the plywood on. It's tongue and groove, goes together. Now the mat's going on. After that, we'll put the canvas on. It's got all the U.S. Army logos on it. And you can see the cage panels sitting right over there. They're the last things to go up.
We'll talk more about it in just a second. We'll take our final time out here. And as we do, you know, this place is going to be rocking tomorrow night, Wes. But if you need a place that's rocking a lot of the time, just a short drive away.
Yep, Oaklawn, the resort is open. The hotel is open. You can book your getaway today at oaklawn.com or call 1-800-OAKLAWN. Every Sunday through Wednesday in June, you can earn 150 points and get a tool set drawer. Come on every week to get a carrying case, and you'll get a 99-piece set with the case by the end of the month while supplies last. And the great news, the wait is over. The luxurious Astral Spa is now open. You can book your signature treatment by calling 363-4670, or you can go to oaklawn.com. The action never stops at Oaklawn. They got all your favorite slot machines, your table games, and don't forget about the sports book. And when you get hungry, head on over to the Bugler. It's the finest dining experience in Hot Springs, and it's located in the hotel at Oaklawn. So there you go. You got the spa, you got the sports book, you got the casino, you got a place to stay, food, beverages. It's awesome. It's a weekend getaway. It's Oaklawn. Book it now at oaklawn.com.
Man, what a fun day. Fast ride here at the Arkansas State Fairgrounds. We are in the Hall of Industry where tomorrow night they will have quite the party, if you like fighting. Peak Fighting is putting it on, and it's all happening tomorrow, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock doors, and tickets start at $30. There's also a pay-per-view if you'd like to watch on their website, peakfighting.com, $24.99. Brian Poe, thanks for having us out today, man.
Sure.
We had a great time. And I will tell you this in full, just for full disclosure, not that you care about my opinions or thoughts, but I was a slow convert to MMA, and I never really was a fan initially, but I've learned to really, I've come to really respect what the fighters go through. It's incredible, and we watch, I don't know how many shows, but I mean, it seems like it's a pretty common thing to watch shows on a pretty regular basis. It seems like there's a UFC card almost every weekend. So
pretty much,
yeah. It's I mean, I don't know where the popularity is in comparison to other major sports around the world, but it's way up there, I would think. It's growing in popularity. And this is truly an international sport. They're doing this all over the
global.
world. Yeah,
for sure.
So what's the scoop? Give everybody the last quick rundown here for the weekend.
Hall of Industries building, MMA live event, 30-foot cage. You covered most of it. Events and pay-per-view start at 7. Doors open at 6. Tickets anywhere from $30 to $100, depending on where you want to sit. You can get them online. You can get them at the door. It's a little slower process. If you get them online, it just gives you a QR code. You just walk in, scan it, and go to your seat. Bar, snacks.
But family-friendly, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The adult beverages, but also a family-friendly environment. Yep. No nonsense. What did Johnny say earlier? He said we don't allow idiots or something like that?
Yeah, a lot of that is we'd probably have some, if we had $5 tickets.
Sure. Yep.
Our ticket prices,
yep.
And
classing the joint up a bit.
Right. And a lot of people say, "Man, that's expensive or whatever." There's 11 different fights. It's an entire night, basically. I mean, it's an entire event and evening.
No doubt.
It's not, you just run out and for an hour and a half and then you go back home. I mean, we'll fire it up. First fight at 7 o'clock, depending on how the fights go, how early some of them end. Anywhere from 10 to 10:45 probably it should end.
Okay, cool. Man, thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
Sure, y'all were great. It was a fun show.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was fun.
We had a good time.
TJ's great.
Let's check in with the guys from Out of Bounds coming up next. They're on the road today too, at a place that pretty good place to catch UFC fights on a regular basis. They're at Twin Peaks up in West Little Rock. John and Joe, I got to hang out with Freak last night, actually, down at downtown. We were doing an Arkansas urology event, and Freaky Joe was hanging out down there. You guys on? Fellas? Not yet? I guess not. Okay, well, there you go. We will be back in the studio on Monday, and we will have a lot to recap, obviously, from the weekend. Got a Game 7, U.S. Open.
Maybe a couple Game 7s.
Maybe a couple of Game 7s, and the U.S. Open, and much, much more. So, we only gave away one pair of tickets, huh?
Yeah, we did.
I'll tell you what. We'll go out on a high note. If you want tickets to the Jamie Johnson Whiskey Myers show Sunday night, call right now, 661-1037. First person in, we'll get you the other pair of tickets we have for the weekend.
That's nice of you.
You know what? I'm a sweetheart. I'm a giver, Wes.
There we go. Call us already.
Boom.
Hey,
Okay.
happy Father's Day.
You too, buddy. Appreciate you. Brian, you got kids?
I do.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day to you. I was going to say, if you don't, you can have mine. Anyway.
I've got to. My daughter just this Christmas, she's fixing that.
Gotcha. Christian, your first Father's Day. Have a great Father's Day, buddy.
Yeah,
Enjoy
happy
it.
Father's Day, Christian.
All right, buddy. All right, we're out of here. We will join you back in the studio on Monday. Stay tuned for Out of Bounds live from Twin Peaks.